Welcome, everyone. Continuing coverage, Marco, of the WCOOP final tables. Tonight's going to be a Eric Danis doozy.
An Eric Danis doozy, yes. It's 9 o'clock in the evening, Pacific, the 14th of September, and we are here to rail event number 36 of the World Championship of Online Poker on Pokerstars. This is the $215 Rebuy, the 215R, I think they call it, is it not? No Limit Hold'em. And we're now watching, what are we watching now? We're watching one of the last two tables where we got 12 left, including Ruthless, a buddy of ours whom we hope makes the final table. And speaking of buddies of ours, I could not be more pleased and excited to have Big Dog Pocket Fives, Casey Jarzabek, and Marc Alioto, Asian All-In 007. Is that correct, Marc?
That is correct, sir.
All right, here to be our commentators this evening.
Hey, Marco, thanks for getting my name right this time.
How did I?
I knew you were saying that.
Okay. Yeah, what Casey is referring to, and I was going to share this anyway, is well, not the first time we met. I mean, I think it was one of the first times we met in person, but the first live interview we did, it was this summer. Actually, that's the first time I met Marc. Very funny interview, actually. I urge everybody to watch it, and as you can see from the beginning, I drew a complete blank on when I tried to introduce Casey. So I'm sorry, Casey, and
I think it's important that you should mention that you did remember my name.
Yeah, absolutely, Marc. I had just met you, but you bedazzled me so much that I could not forget you.
Thank you.
You are both.
It actually wouldn't be a big deal, except for the fact that Marc tweets me every day and goes, "Hey, whose name did Marco remember?"
Marc, you shouldn't do that, okay?
It's the only thing I hold over him. I gotta use it.
It's the only thing you have that makes you outclass Casey, isn't it?
That's right. Tournament results. So I got one thing.
All right, well, listen, guys, you're both very, very welcome here on QuadJacks TV. I don't want to take too much away from the commentary, but I'm curious. I mean, it was very great to see you guys. Tell us a little bit about how you guys have been doing since we hung out at the World Series. I mean, tell us a little bit about how the World Series went and how you guys fared afterward. Let's start with you, Marc, this time. Okay.
Well, the series went well. I did really well in the sit and goes, the live satellites. And the tournament-wise, I didn't play that many. I only played like 8 or 9, and I did okay, but the sit and goes were just so soft that like I could not leave those. It was amazing.
Okay.
And since then, I've just been back to grinding on lock.
All right.
And switched fully to MTTs now. I was playing sit and goes before the series, but got back, and I just want to pursue MTTs more, so I've been playing those.
Okay. Casey, what about yourself?
The series, I had, I think, 5 or 6 cash outs. Nothing huge. I had a few big runs. I got 24th in a 1500 shootout where I lost the second day heads up to Lane Flack. I made a real deep in the Binions made event, and I lost aces to ace king, all in pre-flop for pretty much the chip lead with 27 left. But so I didn't have anything big, but I did have 5 cashes and a couple runs. So it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful either. So I guess that's all you can really ask for is get your shots. Eventually it'll happen.
You're playing some of the WCOOPs, Casey?
Actually, I haven't been playing many. I've played maybe 5 or 6 of them. Just got a lot going on in my life right now with, you know, a little remodel around the house, the young baby, just lots of stuff going on. So I really haven't been having my full grind on. I am planning on getting into it again and, you know, ramping up the volume, but really haven't been doing much at all.
What about
online poker?
What's going on with TPE, guys? Tell us a bit about that.
TPE is doing unbelievable. We're now, again, crushing Black Friday numbers, so we have more members than we did on Black Friday. Even still, a lot of our members are American. I guess now, you know, people are starting to come back, even the Americans, with, you know, the hope of regulation and whatnot. People want to sharpen their game before they jump right back in. So its TP is going really good. No complaints whatsoever. We have a lot of new great pros, and there's really not too many negatives about TPE. It's the place to be if you want to play on TP.
How have you been finding it, Mark? Weren't you kind of new to it when we met you, or
To Tournament Poker Edge?
yeah?
Yeah, I was a member for a year before they actually had me do my first series, and I'm loving it. I mean, I'm still a big fan of watching videos because I'm in the process of trying to get better. So, yeah, I'm loving it. Bunch of new pros, so you get different perspectives on just certain moves, tricks to the trade, I guess. And yeah, it's helping me tons. So I'm loving it.
All right. Well, listen, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's talk a little about this tournament. What's going on? Have you guys been railing it? I think we still have 12 left. Who do we know? Who's in it? And what kind of game are we looking at? I mean, that's one question I like to ask of our commentators for every tournament we do. What makes the 215 Rebuy here on the WCOOP stand out or differ from any of the other No Limit Hold'em tournaments we may have witnessed thus far? Let's start with Casey.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I know quite a few people left. Some of them from just their games, and some of them personally. DJK123 and Mr. Big QASO are really good friends in real life. They know each other. I've hung out with them plenty of times. Got drunk with them a few times. They're both really good guys. They're both really good guys. Both young guys. So they both play exceptionally well. So I know them really well. Adam Levy, who you mentioned earlier, I was a pro with him on UB before Black Friday, so I know him rather well. Great guy, stand-up guy, kind of pulling for him. Scammies I know really well. I got deep in the Sunday 500, and he actually beat me heads up in that tournament, so I know him really well. And P.S. Mozart, I also know really well. He's a reg, and he does really well. I don't know who BGP4 is, but everybody else at this table I know really well.
Casey...
Mark?
Hello? Mark?
Yeah.
Mark?
Sounds like
I am here.
It sounds like Mark's getting some information from somebody in the back.
Yeah, Mark's like a news correspondent. He's got that.
Am I good? Am I back? I had the commercial came on the.
I'm sorry. No, you're probably gonna want to. If you can find, because I know you guys like to stay in chat. If you can find a way to just turn off the stream. Maybe pop out the chat. That's something I actually would like to say to all of us, to all the people listening, especially those who are new and are just getting used to QuadJacks TV. First of all, if you're not signed into our chat box right underneath the screen where you're watching the action, go ahead and do so. You can sign in via Twitter and or Facebook. And you can also, since it can be tough to scroll down all the time, you can also pop out the chat. There's a little icon with an arrow on the bottom right corner of the chat box, so click on that and it will pop it up for you guys. So sign in and let's you can interact. Our hosts are nice enough to make time for us this evening, so let's ask some questions. Let's get some user feedback. We're a very egalitarian program here at QuadJacks TV, but we have absolutely no patience for trolls, so be forewarned. And
when the fuck are the cash outs coming, Marco?
So, yeah.
That's my question. Where's the cash outs?
Okay. All right. Yes. Thanks for that reference, Zikta. I've addressed that issue in chat. Maybe we can get to that a little bit later. But anyway, so there you go. And Mark, you were about to make a point until the ad interrupted you.
Yeah, I wanted to know if Casey thought DJK was the best player left.
I mean, DJK is extremely accomplished. I personally credit DJK with changing the poker world when people started adapting to just open shoving 15 to 20 big blinds in certain spots in ICM factors and from position factors.
Small blind to big blind, right?
Right.
It was small
I credit
blind
DJK with... Right. DJK was the inventor of that. He's extremely smart, and he's always thinking outside the box. He did win the 25K 6-max WCOOP bracelet, which is a sicko field. So I'd say he's the most accomplished player, but everybody at this table is really good. So he might have an edge, but it's small.
Okay. I think BGP4. You said you don't really know who that might be. Could it be the same person we see in the avatar?
It could be.
This is poker. Yes, definitely.
It could be, but she's definitely using a wireless mouse.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, guys. Okay. So, let's and Casey. Again, could you tell me a little bit about the tournament, the structure, the stack sizes as we have them right now? You know who's got a good lead, who's going to have to do some work based on your assessment of the people left in this thing.
Well, the truth is, at the table we're watching, everybody has over 20 big blinds. So, although DJK obviously has an advantage in chips, I wouldn't say anybody's at the critical factor right now where they're absolutely desperate. It's really, really deep. WCOOPs have a great structure. Being a rebuy, it has a lot of chips in play to begin with. So I would say that we're in for a fairly long final table when we do get there, because everybody looks really deep, and it's still anybody's game basically at this point when everybody has over 20 bigs.
I'll say that BGP is definitely going to be looking for a re-steal spot, and especially with DJK opening.
Yeah,
so
they're definitely in 3-bet shove territory, but I wouldn't say that they're it's critical where you have to start, shipping in 5-4 spades for absolutely no reason or whatever the case may be.
Agreed. Now, if you were BGP4,
what's that?
If you're BGP4, Casey, I mean, you're looking to reship over DJK and Queso all day, or maybe not Queso so much because he's only got like 23.
I mean, even Big QASO will open fold at this type stack, and they're obviously both very aggressive players. I don't have a HUD on them right now, but I'm sure it's pretty absurd, especially with DJK having a chip lead. I expect him to open probably at least 40% of pots that get to him that are unopened.
Agreed. And we went over this before, actually, when we did a video. You're not big on like raise folding 20 bigs. If you're opening with 20 bigs, more than often you're going to get it in, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I've changed that up a little bit. I went down to about 15 bigs now. I was at 20 bigs for a while, but I don't like giving a lot of my equity away. When I double, I want to get a full double in, so I don't really like raise folding, 19 big blinds, because when I do double, I only end up with 35 instead of 40, and that can make a huge difference on where I want to go with my game.
Even at like something as big as this, where like there's 140K up top, like you don't think it's still profitable, like even min raise fold a 15 big stack, just because people will be reshoving tighter ranges, so like they're gonna fold more.
It's also kind of table dependent. If you're gonna have people that are gonna be shoving really, really wide, and you're gonna be folding, here we go here.
Standard spot right here.
Kind of open for a king on the river.
Oh, king ball. Yeah, queso inducing with king jack suited, so standard, and ace deuce reship.
Yeah, looks like a pretty standard spot for both people.
I think BGP4 is going to need another cheeseburger.
I was going to say a consolation snack after busting this hand. Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the end of that.
At least he didn't get cooled there for his last 62K.
That quad aces for PS Mozak.
He's a beast. I just scoped him. Huh? He does very well.
Does he have a Twitter? Because do we know if PS Mozak is on Twitter or what?
I do not know that.
Okay.
I do not know that.
All right.
I don't know if we're allowed to root for people, but I'm definitely rooting for a few people. So if you guys don't like me rooting for people, it's too bad.
Yeah, Casey, you've been pretty like conservative or timid, or at least inquisitive about everything that you can and cannot do this evening during commentary. I'm going to repeat to you, buddy. Like this program is designed to let you do and say pretty much whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah, I did ask you if there was profanity allowed, but that was really the only question, so I don't know how inquisitive that is. Yeah, I usually only inquire one time.
No, I appreciate your consideration. Yeah, you can root for people. I mean, it's really meant to be an open commentary.
So I can say
that all there for Mr. Big QA. So keep
We
him
can
around.
say a play is fucking horrible on this?
Yes, you can do that. Because the views... the views and occasional trolls expressed by our commentators do not necessarily reflect the positions taken by QuadJacks TV.
Well, you got that in there early. You guys are covered now.
Yes, there you go. Everything from now on, we're distanced.
Well, I'm reading the chat. Ruthless is actually still in the other WCOOP event, still going.
Oh, really? Which one is that? The PNL?
Yeah, the one that... Yeah, let's see. Oh, there's still the players left in that, though. But yeah, he's
about
that. Playing good and running good.
I was curious about that.
Those are always nice days. When good players run good, they're unbeatable. Because a lot of good players will play good and just have horrible downswings, but then when it turns and they're having an upswing and they're running a bit above expectations, they're unbeatable. Most good MTT regulars have got on those heaters, and it just feels like no matter what you do, it's working out. We all live for those days.
Wait, this table that we're watching, this is 5 sickos.
Oh yeah.
Like, these are all sickos.
Yes. That's why I'm saying DJK, if there is an edge, it's fairly small because everybody at this table can definitely play.
By the way, speaking of great players, let's give a shout out to a friend of ours who is still in the other WCOOP event, Potential, Ryan LaPlante. He's in our chat. Hello, Ryan, and good luck in that tournament. I hear he just doubled up, so.
Definitely, good luck. I've known him for a while. I met him a few years ago at the series. We played at the same table for quite a while together. Really nice guy, and I always pull for him. I know he had a big run in the WCOOP this year, and I was hoping for good things for him.
He had a big run in the same event that Jeff went deep in, Hurricane Jeff, right? The 1K?
Right. Yeah. I think that was the same event. I'm not sure where he finished. I think I want to say like 6th or 7th, but I know it was a fairly deep run. I was falling for him.
Little squeeze here, 3x over a min raise, and a flat works.
5-handed, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of, 3 bets, a lot of squeezes.
Are you min raising here, or are you going a little bigger, or are you just min raising for the norm?
With these players, you're better off just to min raise. It's effectively accomplishing the exact.
You're probably better off just folding with these players. Like, this is sick. And Queso and DJK, you said, are really good friends. I wonder if they'll play at each other. Kind of hope they do.
Actually, they're like the best of friends. Like, I've known DJK since he was, 16 or 17, and he was a sicko way back then. And I didn't know Big Queso quite as well because I more knew DJK and hung out with him more, but I know they were great friends. So they both play the same style, but I've watched them here and they're going at it quite a bit. So I bet you there's a little bit of bragging rights on the line here between these guys. Nice little squeeze here from DJK.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what do you think Ruthless flats here, like King Queens, Queen Jack suited, stuff like that? I don't think any.
Yeah, I'm with 30 bigs. I'm not sure he's like deep enough to be flatting with something like big dogs or whatnot. Yeah. He's falling a 3-bet there, so yeah, I would say something like that, King Queen suited, or maybe an Ace Jack or Ace.
Hey, and what about like aces and kings, just knowing that DJK cannot resist the squeeze here?
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt he was going to do that. When you play at a table of sickos like this, it's better off just to 3-bet because somebody's really likely to tool out with a 4-bet.
Yeah, he'll just cold 4-bet behind you too.
Right. And then if DJK does do that and Ruthless does do something, DJK is smart enough to get away. So you're not going to get max value from your aces doing that, in my opinion. If that makes sense.
No, it does. I'm just watching this action.
What do you think, Marco?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say, Casey. I keep trying to get a word in, but you keep putting me off. Actually, I have a question. Could you tell me more about Jim Colapi? Is this at the table, Mr. Yep. Big Queso? Yep. What's his story? Do you know him?
Yeah, I know him really well. I've met him quite a few times. he was playing. He was a lot online grinder for quite a while. He's made the transition to mostly live now since Black Friday. He played on some other sites as Mr. Big Cheese, so you might recognize that name as well. He's got really good results both live and online. He's been a sicko pretty much his whole life. He's really good. He's definitely not outclassed at this table. He's top 2 or 3 for sure. He's really good.
Is that just is he just a big fanboy of C-Rock?
It does appear that way. Now I know both C-Rock and Jim, so I'm trying to think if I've ever seen them interact together, but I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what the purpose is with the avatar, but it is a good one.
Yeah, he's a C-Rock fan, Marco. What do you make of it?
Yeah, C-Rock.
Yep.
Another guy we hung out with this summer. Awesome.
So the consensus of the panel, yeah, Mark, I was just going to say the consensus right now is opening for mins. It's what we've seen a lot lately here online. Is that what everybody's doing these days, guys?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, when you're a really aggressive player and you're opening min, it just saves you so much equity through the course of a tournament, because if you a little bit more than min, and then you get into some pots, like when you're opening a huge percentage, most of the time it's for a steal. So then you get into pots when you got a C-bet and you've more than minned, then your C-bet's a little bit bigger, and if you have to 2-barrel, your 2-barrel's a little bit bigger. So just through the course of a tournament, by just minimizing what you're putting into each pot, when you definitely don't have the best hand, over the course of a tournament, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and right now they're all like, well, I mean, a bunch of them are 30-ish effective. So min raise is going to do, it's the same thing as basically if you made it like 125,000. Like, I think people are folding the same hands. And like Casey said, you're just going to turn bigger profit just minning when someone plays back at you, stuff like that.
Got it. Okay.
I'll 2.5x to 3x early pre-ante, but once there's antes, I'm min raise all day. Like, it's so profitable.
Even pre-ante, I might even go 4 or 5x depending on how deep the tournament is. Just helps you polarize ranges just a little bit better, and if you do have a strong hand that you want to play, there's a little bit more value in there if you do hit a set or something great. But once it gets to antes and everybody's getting a little shallower, the min raise effectively accomplishes the same thing, especially when you're playing against good people. If you're playing against fish, it's a little different.
I think min raising at 10-20 is like lighting money on fire. I think it's horrible.
Right.
I don't think anyone folds at 10-20. I mean, I don't know if I won't even 4x. I just make it 3x, and I think it thins the field out enough if that's what you want. You know, some hands like 10-jack suited, and even small pairs, you want more people in the pot, but I feel like they're just calling so often anyways that, you know, it doesn't matter if it's 3 to 5x, I guess.
So you're saying there's a time and place.
Sorry, Marco, go ahead. Say that again.
I mean, so you're saying there's a time and place for min raising as opposed to letting it be just, you know.
With antes, it's the most profitable just because of what's out there in the middle, and because, like Casey said, I mean, just based on their stacks anyway, they'll be able to get it in on 3 streets without making it bigger. Like, so the reason why Casey says 5x early or like 4 or 5x is so you can get more into the pot when you do hit, you know, nutty type hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Understood.
But if you're opening every hand like post-ante, min raise is gold because basically your range is balanced, and I don't know, sometimes you'll get more fish to just, oh wow, 3-bet out of the big blind here. That's nut sizing, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty small sizing considering he is out of position, but it is going to accomplish pretty much the same thing. Scammies is almost never going to flat there unless it's aces.
Yeah. That's a sick spot to be light, too, because the opener has to think that, oh, he's 3-betting me out of the big blind, he's probably strong here. I've actually started to do that a lot more with just biscuits.
Not only is he 3-betting out of the big blind, I know it's only 5-handed, but he is 3-betting out of the big blind on a sicko table with a UTG raise.
Yep, exactly.
Little flap from the button. I'm not sure what hand that is. Both players are fairly deep, so it could be a lot of things.
Ooh, 9-7 a spade one time?
That might be a pretty decent action
Casey,
flop.
do you want to bet on who wins this tournament? Because I'll bet $200 and I will take P.S. Mozak.
And I get the field?
No, I'm giving you one pick, and if Marco and whoever wants to get in, I'm ready.
Yeah, I
for
don't
this.
have a name, Mark. It's all good.
I think.
You saw that I drew a blank, right?
That was good.
Well,
You
you
played
played
it-
as QuadJacks.
Yeah, you played it well. You played it well. What were you going to say, Marco?
You're not even my friend.
I'm just gonna say that if we really were to carry out this wager here on QuadJacks TV, it might constitute internet gambling according to some legal opinions. So please, let's be careful. Nobody here at QuadJacks wants to get indicted. Okay?
Yeah, the DOJ. I don't know, Marco. They're on speed dial with
Hey,
you.
Mark, I'm from Canada, so I'm in. I'll take DJK.
All right, I got Mozak 200.
Actually, like a funny story, and I never really wanted to get too much into this because it's a very delicate issue. But I think we've talked about before. The DOJ, we can confirm, both in New York and Maryland, has listened to QuadJacks before. Is aware of some of our programming. Some of the guests we've had on, I guess, or some of the things we've discussed have attracted their attention.
I
But
wonder
that's
if
it.
they were
Wait, the
listening
DOJ
to
could
that
be listening
time-
right now.
The DOJ
I
could
wonder
be
if they were
listening right
listening
now.
that time me and Marco were discussing the Pokerstars buyout, and Marco was insistent that it wasn't happening, and I was insistent that it was.
Whoa, hold it, Casey. I was not insistent that it was not happening. I was merely calling for some sobriety in evaluating the situation before getting too excited. In fact, at one point it looked like it may not have happened.
I
That's
agree.
it.
It does look,
No.
by the way, guys, just to interrupt here, it looks like we have lost another player. Galateri from China has went out in 11th place, so there are 10 left. We are actually now on the official final table bubble.
Very nice.
And Galateri's a beast. I scoped him, 6,200 games, 91 ability on scope, so a good player. Was eliminated.
Yeah.
I'm a big shark scope geek.
Yeah, speaking of that, who is Snake 8484? Seems very familiar. Does that bring up anyone?
Yeah, he's a regular, and he's very good.
Yeah,
He's super aggressive. I have
he's
tons
actually-
of history with him.
270k profit, 99 ability, so he
he's
fucking
very
<clears throat>
rapes.
Now, Mark, a question. You keep saying this ability number. To kind of put that in perspective, what does it show for Casey's ability?
1 second.
And then yours.
117.
I'm a 91.
Okay.
Um,
So you got a little bit of work to do.
through a smaller sample, and I don't know, Casey, you're not. Are you blocked? Yeah, I think you may be blocked.
Oh, you
I
can,
mean, Casey's probably like a 98. I'm guessing, like with his results,
Okay,
probably
we
like a
gotta-
97, 98.
Mr. Big Queso just reshoved here.
That's a pretty big stuff.
Yeah.
This is
That's
a 4
I'm
bet.
thinking
Yeah?
it's something like Ace Queen, Ace King. That's a really big stuff.
And yes, Mark, for all the folks at home, that looks like a 4-bet. I'm going to flip back to the other
Sitting out.
tables, guys, while we're waiting. So we're on the other table right now. Got a $1.3
Yeah,
million
what's happening
pot. We're on the
Can I
river.
get your fucking name, or am I just gonna call you nothing the whole fucking time?
I like nothing. I think that works well, Mark.
I'll call. No, is it Zeke? Like,
Yeah, you can
I
call
get
me
some help here?
Zeke nothing.
Zeke nothing?
Yeah, Zeke nothing.
You could call me dickhead the whole time. I won't be mad.
Mark,
That's
please,
what
you're-
Casey calls me midget, dickhead, prick when we were in Vegas.
Listen, Mark. You're a guest here. You are to be called Mark. You can call me whatever you like. Back to the action.
No, you tell me what to call you, man. I want this to be official.
It's Zach, by the way, Mark, and I did just accept
Zach,
your
okay.
your
Well,
Facebook request.
Zeke would have been a cool name.
That's what I told my parents.
Well, Zach, we never met. It's a pleasure to meet you.
That's
And I will
bullshit. We
call you
actually
Zach
did.
the rest of the time.
We met.
You did.
Yeah, he was the guy sitting in the chair.
He shook my hand for 1 second and then talked to Casey for an hour. That's the kind
Yeah,
of
that's
treatment
not meeting.
with Big Dog.
Well, that's because Marco was all up
But
on your balls.
even if he did shake your hand for 1 second and then talk to me for a bit, that's meeting you, idiot.
You're such a faggot.
I love how politely you just requested to know his name. Can I just get your fucking name?
Well, you said we could swear.
You
I
can.
know I did. Oh boy.
And again, these we've got more action on the other table, so I'm just flipping over to table 18 here. 2-pack is all up in it.
2-pack. I'm going to pull that table.
Yeah, all we have there is an ace-king and a queen-jack. Ace-king wins with the high card.
Yeah, that was a sick hand. I wish I would have watched the whole thing.
And here we're back on our table. Mozak with the min raise, Marco.
Mm-hmm.
Going to see a little 3-bet from the DJK here. Ooh, a call.
Smooth call.
These are the two guys that can have like a wider range because they're much deeper, you know?
Sure.
They both have 50 bigs.
So is that why you think that DJ K is just smooth calling there, just because he can play post-flop?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying he could have a wider range of hands. Like, it's possible that he has 3-3 in his hand when he has 50 big blinds, and maybe he's just set mining or whatever the case may be. Whereas if he has that hand with 20 big blinds, his options are a little bit more limited.
Okay.
So the deeper it is, deeper people are, generally the harder it is to range them. If that makes sense to you.
Of course, sure. And I would imagine, too,
yeah,
the better...
and he's getting good odds just on the pot anyway.
Yeah, both stacks are deep, and both of them are really good players, so that should even make the range even bigger, correct?
Correct, I would say for sure. DJK does like to dominate pre-flop, so it kind of makes me think he doesn't have a premium. I doubt he's flatting super big there.
Okay.
This looks like value all day, right, Casey?
Yeah, what's in the pot? 500? Certainly does, but it could be something like backdoor missed spades. I think DJK has to fold a lot of hands there. Definitely looks like value.
And Mr. Ruthless comes in with a min bet.
How does Ruthless play, Casey? I know DJK is like super ag. Is that how Queso is too? Like, how do these guys play?
Mr. Queso and DJK have very similar styles. Ruthless can play that style, but he will change gears a lot more than the other two will. I've seen Ruthless be extremely patient, and then something magnificent will happen, or he'll get a weak table and he'll really ramp up the aggression. But he can really change gears with the best of them. He's really good at that. Where someone like DJK likes to put his foot on the gas and keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has one gear.
And here we go again, Mozak and DJK, and this time Mozak playing out of position. Should be interesting to see how this develops.
Oh, I forgot this is our bet, Casey.
Oh yeah, this is it. Let's hope.
Wait, are we doing a last longer or the winner?
Nah, the winner.
Oh, change the bet, darn, that's cold.
Oh, great, last longer.
No, we can do winner. That's more fun.
That's a pretty interesting turn.
Yeah, DJK opened and PZ Mozak floated, right? Or just flatted?
Yeah, in the big blind.
Yeah.
Check call, so he could have a bunch of stuff. He could have any pair, straight draw.
That's a big bet right there. DJK is betting for value right here, in my opinion.
And to protect against straight draws?
I guess. I think it's just
well, I mean, he's giving him price the call if the guy's open-ended.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but the problem is when he's betting that much and PS Mozart floats, and then the river comes where it completes some sort of straight draw, I don't think DJK is folding if the guy leads out. So, I'm not sure it was necessarily to protect against straight.
Yeah, okay.
You might see him get at it again here, these two.
Nines to kings on the other table, pretty standard, I think.
Yeah, looks like it. Should be at the final table now.
Yep.
Yee!
There we go.
There we go.
Here we go, Marco.
All right.
I'm strapped in. I'm ready to see it. So they just moved to the final table we were watching. So obviously the seating stays the same. They don't redraw for the final table, do they? They just bring the players in.
Correct.
Yeah, it's whatever table busts, right? And then they just go to the other one.
What do you guys? That's the first time I've ever even noticed that. What do you guys make of that? Do you think that there should be a redraw at the final table, or just bring them on in?
That's the way they've always done it. I've never really put any thought into it.
I would prefer a redraw. I think, especially if I was ruthless and I had DJK on my left.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway.
And you've been playing on the whole bubble with him on your left.
That's all I'm saying.
If that redraw was that important to Ruthless, he should have busted someone on his table, and then they would have moved.
Go out of his way to try to bust someone.
Right.
Okay, so Casey, now on this table, you know Tupac?
He got shot in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mark. If you didn't know, they had a little falling out with Biggie Smalls.
Oh yeah, the whole Suge Knight scandal.
Yeah, that's it. So why don't we
Biggie
actually
went out about 40-ish in this tournament.
Yeah. Why don't we? Fuck, Marco. Good one. Why don't we go through the table, guys? Why don't we go seat 1? Something can. You guys know that man?
I actually do not.
Okay, Mark. Why don't we
I have
get
no
your
information on that guy whatsoever.
That's where we rely on Mark's scoping duties, I believe, Mark.
Oh, Aura Can we're looking at? Yeah, he's a winner, 112K in profit, 65% ROI. Wow, average stake is $27.
So
but that could just mean he started low.
Okay. And here we got an all
now
in.
has moved up.
Got our first bust out. Snake
Seems pretty
8-4.
standard right there. Button open and then a ship with less than 20 bigs.
Pretty fast.
And obviously you're never folding ace king there.
So Snake 8484 from Canada, Marco, leaves with $8,500 in 9th place.
I would kill myself if I got this far and took 9th.
Hopefully he won't.
Yeah, you're never happy with something like that.
Okay, so we got the Grinder 4-4 to keep up with our player profiles here. What do we got for him, Mark?
Grinder 4-4 is 92 ability. He's got everything else blocked, but it's a big sample. Average stake $45. So this could be a bigger buy-in for him.
Okay.
Maybe satellite it in, but I can't say that for sure because he may have just started with smaller buy-ins and now has worked his way up.
Okay.
Bigger
Casey,
roll.
I played with him a few times. He's really solid. He's a regular.
Okay. And we've already talked about the Queso. We know that he's a good player and he's a C-Rock fan. Tupac. What did we make of Tupac, Mark?
Tupac, man, is sick. 11,545 games played, average stake 91.55, and he's a 96.
Okay.
Like, for that type of volume, he's a sicko.
Okay.
And he can rap.
Exactly.
And he got shot, and somehow he's still playing poker.
Exactly. And I think the only other new player to the table that we haven't already discussed is Scams.
He was there, but we didn't talk. We didn't talk about his stats. Actually, I don't have him. Let me.
I'm like 95% sure he beat me heads up on a Sunday 500 for $100 grand.
So he's way better than you.
I would say that's fair.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's awesome. And he's got a great haircut. He's a very sharp-looking gentleman.
He is.
I actually think
he's dating that lady that was playing earlier.
Oh, BG P4 from Sweden.
Yeah, they're engaged.
Oh, okay.
My ex-girlfriend, actually.
It makes sense. It makes sense. He looks like he could be on a Men's Warehouse commercial. He looks good.
Oh, Scammies, that's the guy from Game of Thrones, the greatest show on TV. I'm plugging him.
Well said. Is that the HBO guys?
Yeah, and he's the like, what is he in? And I don't even. He's like one of the lords or something, but he's won like Oscars or whatever it is, Emmys.
And he plays
really
poker?
good actor. Yeah, and Tupac.
No shit.
And Joe C-Rock.
We got a big hand going on here, guys.
Yeah, I think DJK has some sort of club in his hand. Might not be huge, but he just floated just to float. I think you're going to see a fold here.
Wow.
Peels one off.
Yeah, I mean, now I kind of want to feel like I don't think he just has a naked club. I kind of feel like he either has some showdown value or the nuts.
Wow.
Wow. Sick turn. Sick turn.
Really like to know what DJK has. I guess maybe something like Ace 10 with a big club or King 10 with a big club.
How much is ICM coming into your play now, Casey? Like, are you making folds?
That hand. Say it again?
Are you playing just chip EV, or do you pay attention to ICM much? Because you kind of seem like the type of guy that's like, fuck this, I'm going to win it.
Yeah, I usually do, but at this table I would pay attention to it a little bit more because obviously I'm not going to feel like I have any edge at the table whatsoever. So then I kind of would pay attention to it, but generally when I get to a big final table, it's usually like on a Sunday, one or two regulars and then a whole bunch of people that, you know, are going to take Monday off work to finish the tournament. So then I kind of just put my head down and go to work. But this table is a little different, so I probably would pay more attention to it.
I mean, you're not going to fold you're not going to fold blind.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you're still going to play chip EV and just go for all the chips.
Right.
Like, what about the main event final table? Would you? I think you would take in the ICM a little bit more.
Probably, yeah. But maybe not, because again, there's going to be soft spots on the main event final table. This final table would be harder to beat more times out of 10 than the main event final table.
True.
So hijack opens here. Queso flats the cutoff.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting with his stack.
Yeah, again, you think it's like those king-queen type of hands? Like, it's never small pairs.
And
I feel like it's always...
he's definitely not trying to set mine here.
It's like king-queen, queen-jack, king-jack all day. Ace-jack?
Ace-jack, ace-10. He probably, from that position, he's probably going to 3-bet ace-jack. I'm really confused in what he has right now, to be honest with you.
And what do you guys make of...
goes to show.
What do you make of Ruthless just coming in for the flop?
Well, he was getting a pretty good price at that point. He could have anything, like 70 of spades. You know, like, he's getting a pretty good price, especially when he's the last guy to act and he knows nobody can squeeze, etc., etc.
Okay.
I'm guessing the grinder 4-4-4 has maybe a really big hand like kings or queens here.
Yeah, and he's just
ace that flop.
Yeah, because if he has any ace, he's not given a free card. When likely we're putting Queso on Broadway cards. I mean, I think that's what
I'm gonna say. You might see a bet of around that size, you know, with kings at this point. I'm confused as what Queso could have here.
Yeah, would you bet king queen in Queso spot check 2 on the flop?
Probably not.
You wouldn't try to rep the ace?
Probably not.
Still have that gut shot draw?
Yeah, I would probably just peel the free one.
Yeah, because there is...
With his stack size, I'm definitely not betting it.
And we've already agreed that there's not many aces in his range, or that's what we're thinking, other than like ace-jack, but we both think he would 3-bet ace-jack.
And Grinda must
I think the Grinder's going to roll over the winner here with kings or queens.
Yeah, he's got
almost every time.
Showdown value, right, with the check here?
Yeah, sure. And that ace is just never making him fold that hand.
Okay.
Queso might have something ridiculous like ace-7 of clubs, though. And now he has to bet that for value.
You think he would flat that? I mean, I don't know how... I
don't know. Like, I'm really confused what his hand is. I think you're going to see a call here with kings or queens. Wow.
Wow. Completely opposite to what you had read there. You had the hands right, just the players wrong.
Yeah, just because of his flat. Like, his flat was either a monster or something I just could never figure out. That's what I said at the beginning of the hand, because it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
God, and he tanked forever because the board paired ace, and he's like, should I value bet, should I value bet? And I think he should value bet there every single time when the grind of 4-4-4 doesn't bet the river.
You mean on the river? Sure, you're gonna value bet things there because you think he has queens or jacks, right? And you're kind of kicking yourself for not doing
10, or I think grinder can have a 10 as well. That was sick.
Interesting hands.
Yeah, I bet you Queso wishes he 3-bet that now. I like his play, though. I mean, no reason to think that guy has an ace as played. 2 people in the pot, he just decided to pot check call, I guess, on the flop. I would see bet there every time with an ace.
I think the river, he's basically just trying to induce a bluff. Trying to induce bluffs by checking. I don't think
I'm not sure I agree because it was such a small bet, and if he was trying to induce a bluff, he might just also raise there.
No, not Queso. I'm talking about the grind of 4-4-4.
Right, but if he's trying to induce a bluff, and Queso only bets 29% of the pot, he's probably raising if he's trying to induce a bluff.
He's trying to induce a bluff. But would you just check call on the river with ace-5, or wouldn't you bet?
No, I think you're missing way too much value. Queso's never folding kings. You can bet 450k there, and Queso's calling.
So you would bet with the ace-5?
100% of the time, yeah.
That's why I'm confused. I'm like...
Yeah, it was a very confusing hand. Both people played it completely opposite to what I thought they had.
And you're never putting 10s in Queso's range either. He's never flatting 10s there. I mean, kings and 10s is obviously enormously different.
Oh,
I'd like the flat 2 with kings. Like, if he 3-bets, he's getting no action, like 80% of the time, we should say. But it was a weird flat based on stack sizes and whatnot. And position.
No reason for QASO not to bet the river either.
Oh yeah, I'm snap betting that river. And being pissed off when the guy check calls with an ace. Not that I think he should check raise, but just like it kind of would never put him on an ace when he checks the river.
Right. Here we go.
I like DJK too, but our $200 bet, I think I got a root for two.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. P.S. Mosick will not be getting any cheers from the big dog. Yeah, 10 right in your eye.
Fade that, Casey.
10 of diamonds.
God, runs so pure. This is like when we play head up super turbos. So DJK wins an enormous flip.
Yeah, that puts him solid in third place right now, and Mr. Queso now at the bottom of the rung. Him and Tupac tied pretty much for chips. I think Ruthless has got to be loving this. What do you think, guys?
Oh yeah, I mean, from 8th to like just say, I mean, 8th is 15K. If you can move up to 5th, it's 35 Gs.
Wow, Tupac just...
And I bet you the table is loving that because, as we stated before, the guy is a sicko. You're totally fine with that action, Casey. You would have done the same thing, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to myself, no problem. I'm sure the listeners will love it.
Sorry, I was typing to Mark. R.I.P. Tupac. I think that's a little bit out of line.
So this is interesting. We already saw Huracan open 2.5x, and now he's min raising. You look into that at all, Casey? Like, you think that's just hand strength or just nothing?
Can you give me the question again? Because again, I wasn't listening.
No. I really enjoy talking to myself. Actually, No, so I saw Huracan open 150k earlier, 2.5x, and now he's min raising. From EP, he made it 150, and now he's min raising.
You sure?
Yeah, I can go back to the hand. I think it was under the gun. He made it 150. I'm actually paying attention, guys.
Well said. You're doing great.
I'm actually checking that right now. Yeah, you did.
And like when you see that, do you note that?
Definitely. I start looking at people if they're stealing with the min raise and adding a little bit more when they have a value hand. I definitely pay attention to that, except for this one particular time where you noticed it and I didn't.
And by the way, Mark, don't pick on Casey. It's my fault. He got a little distracted there. I'm bugging him a little bit on Skype.
Okay.
In fact, I'm about to bug you. I'm about to bug you in a similar way, Mark. Carry on.
This is a huge spot here.
Big QASO. One time for the Jimmer.
Wait, this is open 3-bet, cold 4.
Yeah.
I mean, just cooler.
Jack. I mean, he has 10s with less than 20 bigs. Seems like a good stuff. Bit of a cooler.
Yeah, I would have 4-bet shoved there too.
So there we got two quick bust out, guys. We got Tupac finishing 8th for just under 16K, and now Mr. Queso, which I believe finishes, note that he wasn't one of your bets, but Mr. Queso 7th for just under $24,000. 6 remain.
Right.
Ruthless now guaranteed 32,000.
Very nice. I will notice that he is betting 150 here now.
Yeah, I think under the gun he just 2.5x's, and then everywhere else he's min raised. I mean, we'll see.
Well, his min raise was queens.
Wow.
It's absurd flat with Ruthless's stack. Like, it should be a monster. Like, it literally should be a monster.
No, I like literally think it's aces or kings every single time.
I mean, it should be with that flat here. He should be ripping now. Yeah, seems bad. Seems really bad. I don't know what hand he's flatting with there, with Ruthless's stack out of position just to give up on the flop. Seems.
I agree. I don't know what.
I mean, I'm gonna change my word from seems bad to fucking brutal. Like I just don't get it.
I don't know. Can we get a swear word out of you?
I mean, people play different, obviously, but I definitely don't like that play there. Wasn't a fan.
So we got basically a min under the gun. DJK 3-betting out of the small blind.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely good enough to have.
Range DJK here could be anything.
And Grinder
are significant at this point, though. Every time.
Are you shocked at how quick it's going, or I guess it's kind of been coolers? Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's been flips and then 10s and the queens.
Right.
Bam, Marc
see bet 100% of the time. I don't know the amount, but he's never 3-betting and just giving up.
Little less than half.
Seems about right. Could see a check raise here. Be a fun line. Also a good card to 2-barrel though, because you can definitely represent that king.
Yeah, and I'm imagining DJK's c-betting like ace queen, ace jack and stuff, and now he turns a gut shot.
100% of hands, yeah. He was c-bet 100% of hands.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a good card to 2-barrel for sure.
I agree. Because Grinder can still Grinder can still flat pre-flop. They're deep enough where he can be set mining with smaller pairs.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely have something like 7s. Probably hates the turn.
Even like 9s. Like, you're not going to 4-bet. Actually, you probably could 4-bet 9s against DJK even when he does.
You could probably 4-bet call 9s against DJK profitably there. Wow.
Wow, I'm so confused here. What Grinder has? Is he just...
I mean, if he was a fish, I would say maybe a spade draw, but now I'm like thinking, what hand does he have? What hand? Maybe like something like...
sorry, he doesn't have a monster either, right? Like, if he has a monster, isn't he raising at some point, like with spades out there and all those different straight draws? Wow.
Something with showdown value, and he was trying to get there. Maybe an 8, maybe a 10.
I mean, Jack Queen is in DJK's range here, right? Like 100% of the time.
Yeah, so is 2-3 of spades.
Oh, I know. We would expect him to shove it too. Wow, this is sick.
I mean, if I'm holding 2-3 of spades, I may play the hand exactly like DJK did.
And notice his sizing. His 3-bet, his flop bet, his turn bet is all basically set up, whether it's a bluff or for value, like basically a little under pot. Which that's one thing I'm bad at. I'm trying to get good at setting up river shoves.
Great hand by the guy who's going to win me $200.
Oh, wait, we have the winner. It's winner though. Why did I bet against
you
DJ?
You said last longer. You guys change it every other minute depending on who's in the lead.
I'm sorry, Zach. I'm calling you nothing again.
Thank you. I like that better.
No, it is a last longer.
Marc has to invest in some sort of new microphone or something.
My mic.
Maybe get off dial-up. Maybe that's a suggestion.
This is a new mic.
It's hit or miss.
You need to borrow $20. Nice little action here.
Yeah, we got a lot of action.
Wow.
What bet are we at, Marc? What number? What is this?
That's a 5-bet.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
That's a 5-bet.
So we could see a Joseph Chung 6-bet here, Marco?
Mm.
It would be fun.
Definitely have deep stacks.
I mean, if I was DJK, I might be a little bit worried because Eurocan flatted Ruthless in that one hand, so he's a bit of a flatter, I think.
Wow, this is sick.
Lots of action.
DJK with the American Airlines here, ace-ace.
He's basically c-betting what his 5-bet was. It was a 5-bet, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
It was a 5.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna see a Stuffy Baker here with aces.
Wow, man, is this real? I'm so not on this level, man. These guys are sickos.
And he keeps betting into him, Casey. What would you be doing in this spot if you were?
I mean, I think they both have a hand.
Okay.
I think they both have some sort of hand because, yeah, DJK. I mean, it just doesn't feel like he's ever folding,
Wow.
does it?
Wow.
Wow, he just totally owned that guy. I mean, I think DJK has aces there with the ace of diamond.
Casey, can I buy out for 100? No, 50.
I mean, DJK has aces there with the ace of diamonds, right? I'm gonna ask him about that hand like tomorrow or something, but
That'd be great. Report your findings, please.
Like, what's that?
Report your findings, please.
I definitely will, but I think that's aces with the ace of diamonds. It's definitely not. He didn't hit the flush on the turn, right? Because he's probably gonna rip the flop. But his hand has so much value, and he has a draw if his aces are beat. To me, it's aces with the ace of diamonds.
Well, guys, we're at the top of the hour.
Diamonds.
We're at a break. I know that Casey has been enjoying some adult beverages. I'm not sure what Marc's been doing, but if you guys want to take a break and stretch your legs, I think Marco and I can shoot the shit for a couple minutes. You guys can do your thing. You guys have been doing great so far, Marco. This has been a lot of fun.
I agree. For those of you just...
Where are you, Marco? Where's your head, man?
What? What's all this?
So I'll come back in like a couple minutes. It's fine.
Yes, sir.
For those of you just joining us, we are live streaming the final table of WCOOP event number 36, the 215R. We are down to 6 players, including Ruthless, Adam Levy, and a variety of other beasts and sickos and whatnots. And we're joined by our commentators tonight are the very insightful and the very humorous Casey Jarzabek, Big Dog Pocket Fives, and Marc Alioto, Asian All-In 2007, both of whom I would like to recommend that you follow on Twitter. You can follow Casey on Twitter at Big Dog Pocket Fives. It's spelled kind of weird, so be careful.
If they're watching the stream right now, Marco, if they're watching the stream right now, I've got the big picture up on the stream so they can see.
There you go. So you can see the big stream. I also just put links to their Twitters in our chat box, which brings me to my next point. If you've tuned in and you are not signed into our chat box, I invite you to give it a try. If you scroll down underneath the screen here, you will see a chat box into which you can sign. See, I put the preposition at the beginning, so I don't have to say sign in again. Into which you can sign via either your Twitter or Facebook. And when you do that, you'll be able to join a very fun and friendly group of people most of the time, etc., etc. And by the way, you can pop out the chat if you want to, if you want to use the chat and follow the action at the same time. I also would like to give a bit of a plug to our friends here, our commentators. They're both involved with a training site called Tournament Poker Edge. I'm including a link in the chat as well to their pros page. I see Casey Jarzabek was actually quite at the top. Casey Jarzabek, known as Big Dog Pocket Fives across most sites, is a staple of the high-stakes MTT community, etc. So learn more about Casey there and about some of the other guys that Casey and Marc work with. So that's kind of all that I wanted to say, I guess. You can also, I hope you will also follow us on QuadJacks at QuadJacks.com, and make sure to submit comments or questions or suggestions for us. We're always looking to make QuadJacks TV a better experience for the poker community and for our viewers. And there you go. Also, let's just give a little bit of a plug, if I may, to our sports betting features, to QuadJacks Sports. Zach, weren't you telling me that you did something today? You recorded something new.
Why, yes, Marco. Funny you should bring that up.
All right.
No, yeah.
That's your cue, darling.
I did a podcast with Fairway J. It's as we like
great.
to say, it's in the can. It should be up later this evening. Look for some tweets on that, Marco. And what I was able to do, and it was very nice of Fairway J to go through every and all games coming up this Sunday, Marco. So he's not sitting there telling you, oh, pick this team or bet on that, but he's moreover just going through the games that he sees of interest, or all the games, but which ones he sees an interest and why. It was very informative. It's just about a half an hour. Bear with my lack of knowledge compared to his, but he did a great job, Marco. It was a lot of fun. And in the weeks ahead, I think we're going to be getting Jay some guests from here in Las Vegas, some of his handicapping friends. The action is back, Marco. The big blind is on Mozak. Good luck to everyone. The tournament at this point has been running for 14 hours. So, I'd like to ask our panelists, Marco, if I may, what kind of fatigue these guys are going through right now. 14 hours seems like a long time, Marco, to be sitting down and playing the poker.
Are you asking me?
Actually, no. I was looking for Marc's opinion here, but it seems like Marc is AFK.
No, I'm here. No, I'm back. I was just thinking about the sports betting, and I can't wait to look at the lines after we get off. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a super degen.
Okay.
I bet women's ice hockey, you name it, I bet it. So I'm actually going to listen to that podcast.
It's good. Like I said, he
Right.
breaks down every one of the games. We go through the whole ticket from the first game to the last game, and he breaks everything down. And the guy's fucking a beast, man. Fairway J knows his stuff. He's got. I had to kind of talk to him first because he's got clients that pay him pretty decent money to give him to give his winners each week. And I said to him, are you able to do this? And he's like, let's do it. So I got him on. You'll enjoy
Wait,
it.
so he has a line that I can call as well?
I don't know if he's got a line you can call, but you can listen to the podcast and you can tweet at him if you're interested in some of his.
Oh, he's got to have a site. Oh, he's got. Okay.
He does it. He does right now with QuadJacks.
I'm willing to pay for picks.
Well, we'll have to talk about
But
that.
what I
Marco.
will say about the fatigue factor, for me, live is so much harder.
Are you
Fatigue
still-
factor. Online, you can get up, you can go grab water. So I don't know. The 14 hours is pretty long. I haven't played a tournament that long because basically only been playing MTTs.
Marc, are we
on the
talking
smaller
about,
sites?
Are we about poker now, or are we about sports betting?
We're poker.
Okay.
I'm back to poker.
I thought you were that big of a degen where you sports bet for 14 hours a day. I was like, holy shit, Marco, he is a degen.
No. I degen for 24 hours, but that's not tiring.
Okay, fair enough.
Casey can probably give more. Casey, you've gone deep in these things. You've been on.
Yeah, I usually get really, really fatigued after the walk from getting out of bed to getting to the computer. I'm really fatigued at that point.
Have you thought about?
And then when I take a bathroom break, I'm fatigued when I get back to the computer.
Have you just thought about moving
I'm
the computer?
always fatigued.
Why don't you just bring the computer to the bed?
Actually, the 14 hours is absolutely nothing.
Okay.
None of these guys are tired right now. There's a lot of money on the line. They're still sharp. They're focused. I don't think fatigue's an issue for any one of them. I played tournaments that have went 15, 16 hours before, and it's never been an issue for me. And for those that know me, I'm not in peak physical shape, so I don't think fatigue's an issue at all.
Okay.
Live, do you struggle when you go deep?
Not really.
I get tired live.
Well, multiple days when you do multiple days, but it's a little different when you're online. Usually, it isn't multiple days.
Right.
So you might put in 14 hours and then take the next day off. So live is a little bit different in that respect. But as for this one tournament, I don't think any one of these guys is tired at this point.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
And
So
it's a good
DJK is looking to probably run over this table now, as he takes a hand off.
Yeah, I mean, DJK is probably looking like a strong choice to win me $200 here.
Are you? Can I buy out? Is there any amount?
125 right now. Take it or leave it. Only chance to buy out.
No.
124.
Could you guys remind our listeners what you guys' bet is all about? I actually could use a review myself.
We both picked a winner. Actually, Marc picked PS Mozart when he had some chips, and he goes, "You can pick anyone in the field." I took DJK, and since then, obviously the big dog Run Good has taken over, and DJK has amassed a big stack.
Okay.
Yep, $200 flip. That's how I run.
Official?
Oh, the bet's
Should
official.
be.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mozak's kind of knit it up, but I guess he has to because he does. What does he have? Like 26 bigs or something?
27 bigs.
Yeah, we're professional poker players. We know math.
All right. So whenever you guys, if you guys want to wait until after this hand, but for the people who are just joining us as well, if you can just take us through like who's left and what you know about these guys and who you see, who you kind of see ahead or in the lead, in this final table so far.
Go ahead, Kate. You know these guys more than I do.
Yeah, we can kind of wait till this action is done. But to make it real simple, I would say for sure that nobody's out of this. Everybody's still plenty deep enough to make a run, and every one of these guys is really capable. Obviously, DJK has an edge here because he's one of the best players, if not the best player at the table, and he has the most chips. So he's the easy pick at this point.
And he has position. He has position on, I think, the three. I think the three guys directly on his right are probably in order 2, 3, 4 or whatever. I think Ruthless is probably second best, and maybe, I don't know, Scams that well. Mozak's a sicko though too. Orican's good, but he just did that one flat against Ruthless where he flatted and then folded on 10-4-3. Was weird. I mean, I'm sure he's a sicko. What would you lay the line right now, Casey, on DJK to win this?
I really have to think about that. Wow, interesting here. I think Orkan's probably really good. Even that one pot he lost to DJK where there was a 4 and 5 bet involved, at least he shows me that he's capable of doing stuff. So just the one flat there was really confusing, but I mean, anybody that's watched my videos on Tournament Poker Edge certainly knows I don't play every hand optimal and sometimes take crazy lines, and sometimes that's just what you have to do for image and just because that's your feel or whatever the case may be. So I'm not going to say because of that one hand he's awful. I feel like he's capable for sure. I just don't know. So I really literally think absolutely anybody could win this tournament still at this point.
What about?
And he does have ridiculous.
Here's Ruthless all in.
Good luck, Ruth.
And I was just gonna ask, like, what do you give for Ruthless's chances here?
I mean, Ruthless is extremely good, but again, DJK is probably, in my opinion, if I had to rank them, the best player at the table. He has the most chips, and he has direct position on Scammies, Ruthless, and PS Mozart, who I consider, probably 2, 3, and 4. So, I mean, his spot is really good. So, I would put Ruthless as a pretty big dog to win at this point, but he still has a chance.
Okay.
And he's got over 20 big blinds. Whenever you have over 20 big blinds, you're definitely not in, the mode where you have to do something crazy and put your tournament life on the line instantly. So, he definitely has time to play, and one double up, and he's very dangerous.
That last hand where he opened shipped, what was it, 18 bigs, I think? What do you think his range is there? Like any pair and like do you think he's open ripping? Plus. What'd you say?
I mean, he's probably going to rip something like ace-10 because he doesn't really want to get 3-bet and have to fold the best hand. So, I think he could have ace-jack, ace-10, maybe king-queen suited.
So you're not saying, no, not any ace, like he's not ripping ace-deuce there?
Definitely not.
And then king queens, king jacks, all that kind of stuff too. So it's a wide range, you're saying?
It's a fairly wide range, but it's not absurdly wide. At 20 big blinds, he's not desperate to get it in with ace-6 there or anything like that.
But like all his premiums, he's probably going to be inducing.
Right.
Or do you think he just balances by open shipping those as well?
No, he's inducing for sure because he already opened 20 big
right.
or can't chip them in, so he's definitely inducing.
Oh, you are paying attention, Casey. Good job, man.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate it.
So we have another battle between DJK and the Grinder. They've been going at it quite a bit.
Yeah, I think you'll see another bet for value here from DJK. Well, must be a 6. Has to be a 6. I don't think DJK snap gives up like that unless he has some sort of showdown value, so maybe an ace-6. I wish we could check.
Dude, Mozak is knitting sweaters here, man. He hasn't played a pot. What's going on, man? Why did I bet the biggest knit?
He does have a stack where it is kind of, you know, at this table, probably wise to be knitting at this point. With 25 bigs, where you're probably going to get 3-bet, do you really want to open? Probably not.
No, I actually agree, especially with DJK on his left. Like,
yeah, so
have to knit.
I kind of like the way he's playing it at this point.
Of course you do, because you have 200 on DJK. I mean, it's not even about the money. I just really hate sending you money. Like, I just hate losing to you.
Yeah. I love winning on you, just for the record.
Oh, do you? Sweet. Come on, Grinder, get involved. Little 3-bet here, little 333. Yeah! Here we go.
Again, DJK can flat a pretty wide range here because they are deep enough.
And they've been going at it. It's an interesting dynamic between the two of them at this point. They've played like 6 or 7 pots together. Yeah.
The grinder takes it down.
Yeah. Congratulations. My guy's still chippy leader and your guy's is second last. Important for you out there.
Marc.
Ruthless putting it in. The old tank put in.
Ooh.
What is it the old tank put in? Tell me more about that.
You know, like somebody bets and you just like if I open light and some guy just like suddenly starts taking his time with around 20 bigs, I'm like, okay, just put it in. I know you're stuffing on me, but I get stuffed on a lot because I have a pretty aggressive image, so people tend to stuff on me quite often and try and resteal. So that's what I felt Ruthless was kind of doing there. He was just gonna tank a bit and stuff it in.
You think he's capable of something like this at this point?
Absolutely. If he feels somebody's going to open light, it's pretty profitable to be shoving. When he has this kind of stack, he wants to utilize it while he still has FE. I'm not sure when the blinds are going up, but if they go up now, he only has 14 bigs, so I expect him to be putting his chips in fairly soon.
Mozak done knitting sweaters and Minray's folding. Come on, shove it down his throat.
Orkan raises in the small blind. What is that? Little over 4x.
Somebody typed someone's name in the chat, and I didn't recognize the name, but I think he might have been talking about Oricon. I'm gonna scroll up here and see if I can find it.
Yeah, this is like basically a min 3-bet out of the small blind, so he's putting him to the test. I mean, he's never flatting. It's either push or fold, obviously, so it's a good spot to be light if you're Arcan as well. But it is the first hand he's open in like 2 years. So I actually think he has some strength in his hand.
Okay. What's... Oh, here we go. Some more tank folds. I'm curious, Casey. Does that work? The tank stuff that we were just talking about, and when would you use it? With what kind of range, if you feel comfortable?
A lot of people put a lot of stock into timing tells. People take certain amount of times, or they hit time banks when they're going to stuff, or whatever the case may be. I personally don't buy into that as much. Because generally most MTT regulars are multi-tabling, 8, 12, 14, 15 tables. So it's like sometimes you just have to hit time. It has nothing to do with the timing tell. It's just the way it is when you have multiple tables. Right. So I think like if you start trying to put yourself into timing tells, sometimes you'll end up leveling yourself. So I don't put a lot of stock into it. It's just I do notice that a lot of people like to just hit the tank button and then stuff it right down the big dog's throat.
You like things down your throat, right, Casey?
Hamburgers and hot dogs, pizza, chicken wing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're heads up here. The grinder versus schema. That's you pronounce it with the umlaut. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't scope him because of that A.
Oh, well.
The grinder 444 absolutely loves to play small ball. That's another time he's flopped top pair, and the pot has been relatively small after playing it. Even when he hit 3 aces against Big Q Aso there, I'm not sure he got complete value out of the hand. So he plays kind of a interesting type style. Oh, I see my buddy ButtSauce33 is in the chat now. Another sicko.
Interesting name. Come on, Mozak. Oh man, this is depressing.
Welcome, Sauce. B Sauce. Any relation to M Sauce?
No. He plays on some sites as ButtSauce333. So.
Oh my god, these names are so funny.
Yeah.
He's actually right with DJK right now. I think I actually seen that J Master was out there as well. I could be wrong, but. So they have a pretty sick house. Oh, ButtSauce is letting me know I am wrong. DJK with a little bit more than a min raise there, small blind to big blind.
Yeah, and that's what I do too. I was just gonna ask. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah, I don't really do it, but I understand why people do.
God.
People are trying to get DJK to come in the chat, but I'm doubting that's going to happen.
Well, you know, I mean,
never hurts to ask.
Right, and it should be made clear. I mean, there isn't. It is not akin to anything resembling. It is not immediately akin to anything resembling any sort of wrongdoing if someone happens to be in our chat and interacting with the listeners while playing. We've done that before. I try to be careful with it. But you know, the other day we had Negreanu doing that, and
right.
he's a team pro, so
right.
That indicates to me, at least that suggests to me at least, that you know it's not something you have to be alarmed about as long as we're careful and
yeah, I think as long as you know the actions, there's no action pending, or you're not in a hand, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I typically I prefer to discourage, you know. Talking while you're in a hand, you know,
right?
Not just to protect the person doing it, but also to deter any kind of to prevent QuadJacks from becoming a medium for
absolutely
leveling or angling or anything like that. So, you know, shut the hell up when you're in a hand. But if you're just hanging out, say hello to you can say hello. I think so.
DJK with the open here, UTG, and then a check. Probably picks up some sort of hand with showdown value. Maybe something like 7-8. Probably end up betting.
You think he's c-betting all his bluffs, is what you're saying, basically?
Yeah, I think he's c-betting a huge range, unless he has something he picks up moderate showdown value with. Well, that's a pretty big bet relative to the pot. It'd be a great bet if he had something like Jack 7.
That's what I was going to say, maybe Jack 7, turn 2 pair. I mean, he can have Jack 3 just as likely as Jack 7, I guess.
Sure, it was his third pot in a row that he had opened, so maybe he was just getting into DJK mode. I think we're going to see Ruthless get it in soon, and there
we go. He's getting it in now. All in. King 10 versus King Jack. Will this be a double up for... Yes, it's a double up for Ruthless, whose King Jack suited doubles up through DJK's King 10 off. What do you think of that call there by your boy DJK with King 10 off? Casey, standard?
I mean, it's definitely standard with an open rip with somebody with that stack from the button. It so happens that he had one of the hands that was dominated him, but I mean, it's a pretty easy call for DJK right there with Ruthless shoving there. DJK didn't even think about it. He just snap called. So yeah, I think the shove is fine. I think the call is fine as well.
I agree. I think Ruthless is shoving way wider than King High, so we have to call there with King 10, and DJK has chips where it doesn't matter. Even if it was for his tournament life DJK, I still think he would call there if they both had the same stack.
Yeah, I think depending on how shallow the tournament is. If the whole tournament's shallow and you need to eventually get it in, then yeah, you could do that. But if it's for heaps of chips, then obviously not, right?
Oh no! I'm just saying, based on the amount of big blinds he shoved from the button there,
I agree.
Really good. But yeah, he saw the worst hand. I mean, not really happy to see King Jack of Hearts when you have King 10.
There was some chop outs on the river I was hoping for.
Oh, you're gonna root against your old UB mate?
Well, I have $200 on DJK, and I know DJK better than I know Ruthless.
Here we go. Min raise on the button by DJK and a 3-bet by Oyarkan.
Oyarkan's definitely showed the ability to 3-bet DJK pretty light, so...
Well, he's first act here in this King High flop.
Do you like his
sizing seems pretty fine.
You don't make it a little bigger out of position? Or you just don't think it matters this deep?
I think it was fine, and plus maybe he has aces.
Yeah, but just for like the norm, I'm saying, do you 3-bet bigger out of position, or are you just keeping?
I normally 3-bet out of position a little bit bigger than in position, as a general rule. Yes. Okay. But that obviously can vary.
And Mozak is now
great squeeze spot for your boy here. I think he can chip fairly wide and get 2 folds.
Man, he's knitted like 30 sweaters.
Well, that's even more reason why he can shove fairly wide there. He definitely has the fold equity. It looked like a really good spot.
Yeah, no, I just worry that when he gets a hand, he's not going to get any action.
Well, we got a little action now.
What do you think he check raises on this board? Flush draws, 2 pairs, sets. Like, do you think he's raising Ace Jack here?
He could be. He's definitely raising flush draws, I would think.
Sorry, I should ask better. What jacks do you think he raises or Archon raises here?
King Jack or Ace Jack, I would say.
And that's it, right?
That's probably it.
And then like Jack 7 if he does have it or whatever.
Sure. Or
he's not raising Jack 10 here is my point, right? Like ever.
Not. Definitely not.
So, like he's kind of wow. I mean, maybe flush draw. It's kind of polarized right there, raising that flop, in my opinion, to like...
I would doubt Oricon has a flush draw here. If Oricon has a flush draw, I think he's just shoving that in while he has so much fold equity.
You think he has...
Because it's against DJK and he shoves a flush draw, DJK is very capable of still being light enough to fold there. So I think it becomes very profitable just to rip the flush draw.
Wow.
Oh!
But that
wow.
Dude, how is that a good play there, dude? Like, I don't... Like, why would you ever raise 10s on that board against DJK? Like, in position. Why would you ever raise 10s on that...
The whole thing doesn't make sense. I knew he didn't have a flush draw for the reasons I explained. But it seems pretty bad with 10s on at least 2 streets.
Guys, can we talk about the huge hand that just decimated DJK's stack? And now Mozak is all in. And a call. Boy versus boy.
No!
Kings versus fives.
4! No!
And
Big Dogs.
Big Dog's horse, assumes a good lead over Marc's horse, who is now down to barely 1 blind.
Zach, good fold.
Kings versus fives. What happened there, Casey? What happened with DJK versus Oyarkan? Oyarkan now has an enormous lead.
Somehow DJK got to get his money in as good as DJK ever does. There's 1 card to come. The guy has 2 outs for all the chips. DJK played his hand brilliantly. The other guy played his hand poorly on a couple streets, and he got real lucky on the river.
Yeah, I'd like to go over that hand in depth more. What happened was DJK opened Ace Jack, and the guy just flatted the button with 10s, correct?
Yeah. One moment. P.S. Mozak, your boy, going all in here with 1 blind. Re-raise by... Oh, wow. Re-raise by Scammon and re-raise by DJK, who shoves all in.
DJK
about even stack.
Like Ace Jack here, Ace Queen, and he's just ISOing.
And a call. Oh, wow.
Ace! Ace!
And DJK
is
busts
back.
2 people at the same time. He busts, so this just in, Casey makes $200. Wait, does DJK have to win for you to win the money? Or is it just the last
it's kind of up in the air, but I'm not worried about it because DJK is going to get it done.
Yeah, dude, okay. What is the bet? No, I'll whatever.
Wow.
I lost.
Well, I think we said the win, so we'll just go with the win.
Oh, what a good friend you are, Casey. No, but so that hand was I'm gonna play it again. So talk about something else for a second.
Basically, DJK c-betted. Jack high flop. Oricon raised. DJK re-raised. Oricon flatted.
Okay. Yeah.
Then the turn came obviously a blank for both their hands, and Oricon ended up shoving it in. I think after DJK bet, and DJ called it the best hand, and Oricon got there on the road.
Yeah, but I want to talk about why I think that's bad, and I know why you think it's bad too. Okay, first just flatting tens on the button like that deep. Don't you want to 3-bet DJK because he's willing to tool out with like ace 3 and stuff like that?
The one street I don't mind is pre-flop because they're both fairly deep. I don't think you want to necessarily 3-bet DJK there and then have to call a 4-bet when your hand has so much value and you're deep kind of set money.
But DJK's crazy. Like, don't you want to induce him to 4-bet light?
Well, you can, but there, like you say, there's ICM considerations and they're the two biggest stacks at the table. So I think it's like a delicate balance, but I don't necessarily hate flat with the tens pre.
Okay, you don't hate it, but you're always 3-betting there, and be honest.
Yeah, I am 3-betting, but I can make an argument for flatting.
Okay, so he flats, and the flop comes Jack 3, 7, 2 clubs. DJK c-bet half pot, like 250 in the 500. And Oricon makes it 557 with tens. How bad is that? Is that good ever?
I mean, it doesn't make any sense that he's going to play it with that line with the flat pre-flop because your hand has so much more value with no overcard on the board pre-flop. So if you're planning on doing that, you should probably just make your move pre-flop and get it in. It doesn't look so bad. Does that make sense? The raise is just awful because your hand has too much showdown value and you're not trying to build a pot when there's an overcard on the board.
Agreed, and a flush draw. Like, we just flat there, and then we see what he does on the turn. And, like, we're flatting there thinking we have the nuts, in my opinion. Like, raising there makes no sense to me because if DJK does have clubs there, he's going to raise, and more than likely you're going to get off tens. But apparently this guy doesn't fold tens on a Jack 3-7 board because DJK just called.
He played it pretty badly the whole way around.
No, DJK put in another bet on the flop. And then... And then DJK bets like half pot, and the guy ships tens on a jack high board. I mean, that's god awful. I'll say it. I don't care. He's probably a millionaire too, but it's god awful.
Yeah, he's played a couple suspect hands for sure.
I just don't get the line at all. Like, are you trying to figure out where you are with tens? Like, why are we doing that? In position. Oh, it's so puke.
Good luck, Rufus.
All in. 15 bigs. And he's going to take it down. So let's hear about Ruthless's position now. What is he? He's still at about 15.
Yeah, he's all in or fold now. He has no options. He'll either be putting in every chip or folding.
Mm-hmm.
Four-handed, you know, you're going to hit the blinds, 50% of the time. So right. I expect he'll be in quite often here until he doubles up or busts. In the next 20 hands, he'll be all in at least 2 or 3 times.
And here we go. Now, how should his opponents react to that?
Well, they have to definitely open their calling ranges because they know he's going to be shoving it in a little bit lighter than he normally would. So it's again something that's a balancing act. Who you're going to call with what hands, depending on how aggressive they've been.
The thing I will mention is he's played a great final table. I mean, 9th was 88,500, and now he's looking at 56,000, and he's basically played the short stack the entire time. So props to him for being a sicko. I mean, obviously, I knew that before.
Yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, he has the ability to really change gears quite easily and does it really well. He can play all styles of poker. When he gets chips, he will totally change his game. So I always never count him out because he's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, one double up and he can, he's literally in this. I mean, he's still in it right now. Like, how many sit and goes I've won with 15 bigs four-handed?
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, here we go. I expect to see a fold here a pretty big percentage of the time, but it's a nice little pickup of 350K for Ruthless.
Are you reshipping ace-6 offsuit in Ruthless' spot here?
Probably 17 bigs, 16 and a half. Yeah, probably am, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
That's awesome.
God, I'm so...
Getting a little more shallow now, so going to see some action.
God, man. that tens hand, like, it's pissing me off. Like, man, I never, like, the guy is a really good winner, and he's a big winner.
I'll make you feel better about it. If my guy would have won that pot, you would have lost $200.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This guy is break even, and whatever. I'm not clowning on anyone who doesn't win. Like, the game isn't easy. I was a huge fucking loser for 3 years when I started. And then he has 110K score. So, all of his profit is one score. So, I mean,
so he's break even besides that one tournament. But he's still profitable.
Yeah, I mean, he played 3,500 games and made $0, and then one day won 112,000.
Right.
Must be fucking nice. Whatever. I don't know. I've seen him play some bad hands. I'll say it. I don't care who he is. I don't think he's good at all.
Well, speaking of, like freak spikes here, gentlemen. Well, first of all, let's see what happens here in this end. Oyarkan and DJK going at it. Oyarkan just betting into DJK the whole time, I think.
Yeah, and DJK again has something with showdown value. Look, this looks like value to me. Like, I would say this is value every single time. That's probably a good pull by DJK.
I mean, do you think Oyarkan's chip supremacy here is deserved? I mean, how's he been playing throughout the entire time? We know that he gained most of these by... Did he suck out? Did he get lucky?
There's two hands I've seen poorly played, and they were both by Oyarkan. I'm not going to judge this whole game at this point by those two hands, but I definitely don't think he deserves to be the chip leader at this point.
Okay.
Those two hands were pretty ugly.
I'll say that I think he's horrible. Like, he's very lucky. Like, his tens hand is beyond bad. And whatever, I'm not great or anything. And, like, I'm sure he's a nice guy. You know, I could give a shit.
This is a premium.
I'm on this call. Yeah, I agree, Casey. I'm on this call to speak my mind, and I think he's played like that one hand. Like, he does not deserve.
Well, how is he playing the bigs? How's he played this? How's he played the big stack since inheriting it?
Well, he seems to be a capable pre-flop. Like, he's been aggressive enough, and he's 3-bet, he's 4-bet. The one flat against Ruthless seemed hella bad. It's hard to say. He hasn't had the chip lead long enough to make that determination, but I don't know. He's doing definitely some weird stuff.
Well, I mean, according to Bsauce, Oyarkan is not a nice guy because he, quote, was berating some other dolt at the table. I love how Bsauce, you're complaining about berating, yet you're calling somebody a dolt in that statement. So you subscribe a little bit to...
You have to understand that Oyarkan just bad beated horribly DJK, and they're in the same house. DJK and Buttsauce are in the same house. So I think he's going to feel that Oyarkan is a dolt. But if Buttsauce says he is, I got to go with Buttsauce on this one because he's a friend of mine, and I take his word for it.
Well, David 59866788, thanks for specifying, David, seems to think that horrible is a bit harsh.
Well, the 10 stand was pretty bad.
Casey, be real. It's fucking god-awful. That 10 stand, you could not play a hand worse than that.
Pretty bad.
I mean, I don't know if the guy's horrible, but I looked, and I hate to be the big stat geek, but I mean, that's really how I make my money is by seeing who winners and losers are.
Well, this river bet here is identical in size, I think, to the one a few moments ago. Oh, here we go. There's a call, though, this time, and we have it straight. I mean, for as bad as he may be, Oyarkan has been pilfering some of DJ's chips for a while now. That's my impression.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But he should have hit the showers with that 10's hand, let's face it.
All right.
I mean, he got it in as bad as you can with one card to come. So, I mean, besides drawing dead, he was drawing the 2 outs. It's pretty ugly.
There's definitely certain spots where you want to turn showdown and like certain hands in the bluffs, but on the flop on Jack 3-7 2 clubs, like, you never should raise 10s ever there. You should always just flat and let DJK just keep piling. I mean, yeah, there's a ton of bad turn cards, but raising there, you're really getting nothing done.
Here we go.
I mean,
here we go.
9. So spade.
That's too bad.
And this is
Congratulations to Ruthless.
This is Darvin Moon, Jerry Yang. I mean, this does happen where people can luck box. Apparently, this guy's done it in 2 big tournaments. He's probably multi-accounting. I'm going to throw it out there. Oh.
At least 56,000 for Ruthless. That's not bad. Something.
And trust me, dude, like I said, I am not God. I am not even very good at MTTs yet, but if I have to point out when someone does something that's really bad. And that 10-10 was horrible, but we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the flat was also really bad. The flat against Ruthless.
Yeah, of course.
But Oricon definitely looking like he's got this in good position, pride position to take it down. Doesn't hurt to run like God.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it happens, you know, whatever. I guess I am being a little harsh on him, but I don't know. I'm super passionate about poker, so fuck him.
Alright, so what's going on here? I mean, we're down to 3. I think, you know, Casey, you're probably ready to maintain DJK's talent supremacy, or skill supremacy. But Oyerkan, for as much as he may suck, boy, he's got them outshipped by a very wide margin. Now, what can we tell about the grind of 444? I thought he was supposed to be quiet. I thought he was timid, and yet he's still in.
Well,
what do you make of that?
Seems to play. He seems to value his tournament life the most. A couple times with top pair, he's really played pot control. So he's a small ball type player. So those people will tend to stick around a little bit longer than some people. I wouldn't be surprised to see him have an ace in this hand and not trying to get max value out of it, even though he's the shortest stack. I would definitely think he has at least an ace now. He plays kind of a weird style. I will say that if DJK doubles and gets up to 70 bigs, even though Oricon would still have 14 million, I would put DJK at least even money against this guy. I think his skill set is that much stronger than Oricon's.
Dude, I kind of think DJK is still a favorite here. I don't even care about the stacks. Like 30.
He needs one hand.
If he had 15 big blinds or 20 big blinds, fine. But he still has a decent stack, and like DJK is like top 5 best players in the world. Yeah, get owned. Let's go, DJK. Oh, I have 200 though. Yeah. I'm gonna pay you anyway, Casey. I'm gonna pay you anyway. I'm a man of my word. We made it last longer. Do you take lock?
Hey, I got a question for you guys. We've done a couple of these tables now, since we started here at the WCOOP. Normally by this time we see a deal, or we see at least somebody suggest a deal. I don't think I've seen any signs of a deal suggestion yet. What's going on?
As long as DJK is in this tournament, I doubt you see any deal making whatsoever. I've known DJK for quite a while, and I don't think I ever remember him making a deal. So I doubt you're going to see it. I don't expect you'll see it as long as DJK is still in this tournament.
But has anyone even suggested it?
No, but I mean,
no.
I definitely.
That is shocking. I mean, I guess people that play the 215 rebuy though, you're not going to get. I mean, it's one of the tougher fields, right, Casey?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken deals for sure, but I rarely suggest them. And everybody that was at this final table was fairly good. We went through everybody. So they're probably of the same mindset. They're just busy concentrating on trying to win. If anybody suggests a deal, it's going to be the grind of 444.
Actually, this is a good point to bring up. When someone does ask for a deal, Casey, like when you're 5 or 6 handed at like a Sunday major, do you automatically start raising his big blind every single hand?
Yes.
Like, because you know he's on scared money, right?
Absolutely. If you're not doing that, you're missing an edge.
Tournament
good squeeze here.
Love this squeeze spot. Oricon's flat at every small blind. I mean, which isn't bad, I guess. He's super deep, like...
Great squeeze spot, no doubt about it.
And yeah,
I don't necessarily think the grind of 444 was light there. Maybe you had something like ace queen.
I mean,
come on, DJK, get home.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. The bet's done. I want DJK to win this because I hate this guy.
All right. Well, listen. Maybe we can. Well, okay. Listen. Now, if you were DJK, how and okay, assuming that the grinder will not be. Well, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. We've got a pair
this
board.
could be a paramount hand here.
What do you think he's raising on the flop, Casey?
It's either air or like it's not tens. I'll tell you that much.
I hope he wins and shows tens. Show tens.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm curious
about.
about.
Wasn't tens. I mean, it could have been a flush draw, and that could have been a great turn for him. So I like the follow through there on the turn.
Now, here's what I'm curious about. Now, supposing you're DJK, and assuming that the grinder is not a force to be reckoned with, which is an unfair supposition because anything can happen. But assuming you're heads up, your DJK, you're heads up against Oyerkan. Yes, you're really outchipped, but you know that you're a superior player based on what you have seen and learned so far by Oyerkan. How do you play DJK's stack to come back and have a shot at taking this thing down?
Well, that's the thing. Although he is out-chipped, if they were to get heads up right now and say DJK was to stack the grinder, DJK would still be over 60 bigs deep. That's so deep in MTT play that he would. I would put him as a favorite.
Me too, and I would bet big on him. The thing is, like, although Oyerkan does have a huge lead, as long as DJK has above 30 big blinds, like, I still think he's the favorite. Like, if he gets to 60 big blinds, I'd say it's like 90%. I mean, I would lay like 500 to win 100. If they get head up, I'll lay 500 to win 100 if he has 70 big blinds. DJK, that is.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know about that. That's probably bad of me because, like, there are coolers and stuff, but I just think he's like 90 times the player.
I mean anything can happen. We've seen that 10 hit the river once already. It can definitely happen again.
Yeah, but I don't think DJK is going to get it all in pre-flop, like with 70 bigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless he has the nuts.
That's a pretty big 3-bet. Wow.
Spade. Justice. Justice League America, ladies and gents. I don't know why I hate this guy that much, but, like, I really hate him. Like, yes. Sorry.
Interesting, huge 3-bet call off with ace deuce.
Well, what do you want to say about that, Casey? Do you think that's good? Do you think it's horrible?
I mean, I can see what he's thinking. He has an ace small blind to big blind, but when he's calling off, like, what is he hoping the guy has? Even if the guy has 3-4, he's virtually flipping. I don't know if I'm inducing a shove there that deep.
Yeah, I want to see what the stacks were. Oh, the button. No, Casey, the button opened. And the small blind 3-bet. I mean, the big blind 3-bet to 600K. And then 3-bet called off. Yeah, that's horrible.
Let me go back here.
It's horrible.
Oh, the button opened and he 3-bet. And then he called off. He made his 3-bet so huge, though. 600K. I guess he's committing himself to the pot. I guess he's just deciding he's 3-bet calling with ace deuce.
It's not that bad, actually, right?
No, it's not. It's not horrid.
Because
it's not horrid.
The grinder starts out with like 23, 24 bigs. It's not that bad. But whatever. I wanted justice. Wow, another huge 3-bet.
Same sizing.
I mean, I don't hate that sizing, though. Wow.
Wow, 5 million.
Wow.
4-ball.
4. Oh, God, that's a... I mean, I'm not really folding a pair there either, but is that too many chips? No, right?
Yeah, that was absurd shove.
The 4s? Yeah, it's like... It's 50.
Yeah, it was over 40 for sure.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't 50. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong hand.
Watch this response. If DJK even gives one, I'll be surprised.
Oh, wait, here we go. Marco.
Yeah.
Hey,
let's play.
Hey, let's go, Dan.
A deal?
Yeah,
and
the
DJK,
deal has
of course,
been...
says, let's play.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm talking to Ruthless right now. He's agreed to come on for a bit.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just making sure he's got a decent setup, and we'll add him. It'll be interesting to hear what he makes of these guys. What's going on? Are they okay? So no, they're not.
There's no deal.
Not a deal. Okay.
We should just see at home.
Let me try to. Okay. Let me try to add Mike. Mike. Let me try adding Adam, despite the fact that I don't think he has a mic. Okay, just a moment, guys, please.
Interesting spot here, Casey, right?
Yeah, I mean, 183 on the 510, so maybe that guy's just reading it as weakness.
And, like, what a sick board.
I mean, that looks like a perfect card for DJK. I definitely think he plays a king exactly like this. He's going to see bet.
I don't think he's bet folding a king on the flop. I agree.
That's what I'm saying. The king is definitely in his range. I don't think it's like the queen of clubs. DJK would just be over this guy and stick it in on him. You might see a rip here. Played it pretty conservatively. Nice hand.
Yeah, and I expect that, man. He doesn't want to throw away his edge against this guy.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, yeah, he had trip kings and what is it, the second nut straw, right?
Yeah. Wow, 16. Like, that's absurd shove. Absurd. It's just way too many chips.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Like, what hand is that good with?
None. Because if you have ace king here, you still want to be inducing, especially against DJK. Because, wow, I wonder what he has there.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping he was slow rolling. But, like, even if that guy has aces, that's not good. You just killed your action. If you don't have aces, what if DJK has aces? Like, it just seems horrible no matter what is handed.
I mean, DJK, so let's just talk about strat head up here. You're playing small ball against this guy all day here?
Yeah, I mean, with his skill level, he's probably just going to try and win heaps of pots. I mean, if he felt like he had absolutely no edge, I'm sure he's getting that king redraw in. So I expect to see DJ.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad Dan didn't like just shove the river or something, because the guy would have never folded.
I agree.
But I like how he played the hand, actually, because I don't think you want to throw away your edge against a guy like this. And although you're kicking yourself after, it's like still like
big pot here. Wow, check after the 600K pre.
Yeah, Ryan from TP's in the chat now, and he's saying super small ball. Yeah, I would be limping a lot of buttons. I don't think DJK will do that, but I would probably limp every hand and just play this guy in position.
Well, he's going to probably min raise every button.
Yeah, which is fine. Which is obviously more standard than limping.
Are we getting joined by Mr. Adam Levy?
Trying to overcome some technical issues.
He should be here now, Marco. Adam, are you there?
Hello, Adam. Adam, it's okay. 4th place is still pretty cool.
Yeah, don't worry about it, pal. You can speak.
There must be some
Adam,
issues.
don't be like this. Don't be like this, please. No, we're trolling Adam a little bit, and we're sorry. You know, here we go. He says he's talking, but can't seem to be heard. No, we cannot hear you, Adam. So, I would, yeah. Zach is going to handle it in our private chat here.
Wow, overbet. This is sick.
Yeah, it's a king.
And DJK would never overbet against someone he respected.
Right. Well, I mean, he just thinks this guy's really fishy, so...
Okay, Casey. You're a gambling man, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the odds are right now on DJK? Honestly, I mean, I said 5-1. I was being a little sarcastic. What do you think the odds are?
I'll give you 2-1 if you want DJK if you go your 200. So you either owe me 600 or we're even.
400's 2-1. Oh, plus the 200. Okay.
Right.
No, I'm not doing that.
Seemed like a good pre-roll for me.
Ruthless.
I think he's trying to show a video.
No,
Yeah.
that was momentary, but we're over it now. Hello? No, nothing. Okay. No, no. Okay.
Ruthless, are you there?
No. He is
Oh,
there.
that's
He just
DJK
he
then.
just can't speak.
Well, Adam, if you can hear us, you played a great final table. You were short the whole time, and you played really well. As I knew you would. Obviously, you're one of the better players at the table. Congrats on the score. I know it's a little disappointing, but still a good score.
And that's when we heard the
That was a
faintest.
short stack.
And that's when we heard the faintest. Thank you. The first words.
That looks like value again. That's probably a queen. Or aces.
Wow. The worst river call ever. DJK's never bluffing there. And I should have taken that 2-1, but I'm a vag.
Still give it to you. Last
All right,
chance,
here's Adam, who's writing to me in chat. He says, "Appreciate it. Was short pretty much entire tourney, and my seat was the worst from 3 tables down. DJK plus Scamus to my left is a bit tough. We gotta get Adam on this fucking panel, man. What the fuck?"
Yeah, I don't know if he was listening the whole time, but
damn
we
it.
actually made comments about, what can he do, and we mentioned his seat position was just...
He
was
played it
pretty hard.
perfect. He played it perfect. He moved up from 8K to, what was it? What did he end up getting? 50?
56, yeah.
56 dimes from 8K, like, and he didn't, he played, wow. Alright, the bet is on.
Alright, the bet is on.
Wait, so, I'm throwing, I have DJK.
You either owe me 600 or we're even.
Fuck. Alright, I'm in.
Marco, if you're there, ask Adam what he had that hand where he 3-bet like 20 bigs approximately,
Okay,
and then
right,
Oricon
yeah.
flatted.
You're gonna get a chance. I hope you get a chance to do that yourself.
Yeah,
Okay,
guys,
so,
I'm
right now
working
we're
on this.
trying.
Let's let me just talk to Adam on the side here, and let's get him connected.
I don't have a lot of faith in you, nothing.
Thank you,
You
sir.
don't have a lot of faith in
Alright,
me
hey,
or
so I want to
Zach.
get back, I want to make
No,
sure.
and Zach.
Why?
I'm not sure he can get it done.
I want to get our bet down. I want to put. So I'm laying you 2. I have DJK 2. Alright, fine, yeah. 600 I owe you if he loses. Please, Dan Kelly.
All right, so I'm
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
mean,
I got a little distracted. What's
I'm
going on?
basically saying that you were committing the $200 originally.
Yeah. Even or 600.
Yeah.
Probably
I'm
would've-
still pulling for Dan. I don't really want your money, and he deserves the win.
All right, so what are we looking at here, guys? I mean, the hypothesis. Oh wow! So I look back and here we go. That we're pretty even.
Yeah, DJK's been chipping up nicely the whole time, as we suspected he would. That looks like value.
Made a really sick value bet on Queen 9x10 on river, and the guy had a gut shot and rivered 2 pair with 10s and queens, and DJK put in a fat bet.
Was a deal made?
No, DJK... Oricon offered one and DJK politely declined.
Hello?
Hey,
Hey!
Yeah,
Adam.
And just for the record,
Yeah.
Mr. Jarzabek, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Adam.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Welcome, Adam. Great to have you back on QuadJacks. You sound great. GG, buddy. Well done. I hope I can say that. Usually when I tell, good job to a player who hasn't won, they get mad at me, even though I'm being very sincere. How are you feeling, Adam?
I mean, I'm feeling like obviously I wanted to win, but the way that this tournament was, I feel like I did just about all I can do, and I mean I had 7 big blinds. Like I had 3 spots on the money, bubble. I think I raised folded queens at one point at like a spot where it was like the dumbest spot I've ever, like one of them, and it just, the fact that I actually made the final table after having 7 big blinds, like a little into the money, I was really happy with. And then the fact that I actually got 4th was even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played the short stack exceptionally well, especially considering your table position and how tough the table was in general. You played really well.
Well, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Do you remember that one hand against Oricon where you raised, I think you had like 18 bigs, and then he flatted? No, I think you... How did it go? You 3-bet him, and you had like 15 bigs left, and he flatted and then folded.
It came 10-4 deuce.
I had kings. I mean, for anyone to like 3-bet that guy after... I mean, I was watching from like 4 or 5 tables down. Like, I think that you should always be doing that when you're deep in a big event like that. I was like watching every table, and he was just playing so ridiculous. So for me to be at the final table when I'm like short, I'm just not gonna be 3-betting him light there. I guess I guess
that's what I said right away. I'm like, this is aces or kings. Did you see the hand he played against DJK with 10s?
Yeah, that was. I don't know what was worse, that or it was just absurd. I mean, I'm speechless.
He's horrible. You can say it. I said he's dog shit. He's the worst. He's horrible. That line he took with 10s was god awful. Like raising in position on a Jack 7-3 2 club board with 10s is beyond bad.
So I mean,
I've never met you, Adam. By the way, I'm Mark, and dude, you put on a short stack clinic right there. So congratulations, man. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy when I won 4 flips in a row, so it's easy to be a short stack. And
that always helps. A little run good never hurts.
Yeah, but it seems like the state of the games now, like I didn't go to the series for a bit, and I was playing online, and it was way different. I come back and I'm starting to play online, and it's just everyone is batshit insane. Seems like that. That's kind of, the way that guy was playing is how I've been seeing it. The way that Tupac, like with that 5-bet all in the Queen Jack, that's how it's been.
For the people that have the really ag style reputation, like me, the game is perfect right now because everybody's tooling out all the time, and I can just tighten up a little bit and get paid on every single hand.
Yeah, the games are crazy when DJK was like the 3rd or 4th most absurd person at the final table.
Right.
It's been interesting.
Yeah, what's that like?
Yeah,
Adam?
I wasn't envious of your table position though.
Yeah, we did bring it up. Adam, I just had a quick question. What's it like being an American that's going, back and forth to play online and having to adjust to the different styles of the game and taking time off in between? Is that hard?
I wouldn't say it was hard, but when I played in Florida for a month and a half, and it's literally like not poker because it's just so they're just so bad. That when I come back and everyone's 3-betting and 4-betting and 5-betting and just doing crazy stuff, the first day, that Sunday, I was a little timid, and I was just trying to see what was going on. But I mean, after that, I just kind of had to play around with my style a little bit.
This is not the first person I've heard that Florida is just the worst poker players on the planet.
It's just you get all the senior citizens that come down and want to stay in a nice area or retire or whatever, and then there's just a ton of other people from Miami who just have a lot of money from other things who just don't care, and everyone just plays the same. It's pretty cool.
So it's 80s poker. Raise, c-bet, take it down?
It's limp, 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 and then if you try to ISO, it goes call, 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 no matter where the stack is. So it's yeah, it's pretty level 1, 0, level 0 kind of poker.
Good times.
How did your series go? Did you do anything out there?
I mean, I only played 6 events. I cashed one of them, and actually that was funny because there was an adjustment from playing a month in playing online, and then I go and I'm playing the first time I'm playing is a 5K, and I get 3-bet. And I have ace I raise and the button 3-bets me, and I'm I have 35 bigs, I'm all in with ace queen, and then I'm oh wait, this is live poker, it's a bit different. So but yeah, I mean I cashed and made day 3 of the main event, but that was nothing.
Do you usually go out the entire time, or you this year just decided to make it less, or what?
I've always been out the entire time, but it's just. I mean, I wouldn't say it's been I wouldn't say it was a rough year, but just with all the change and then the added expenses of traveling back and forth, and just the situation, like I'm not backed, so it was just kind of like a decision that maybe if everyone's going there and it's like way softer, which it was. And these the World Series tournaments, they're kind of miserable. Like the structures, like I wish they would just change it a little bit. Like they could probably do it in a certain way where it's like, they'd give like 5K stacks or,
Yeah, the 1K structure is horrible. I don't even play them. I'd rather play the 1500, and even that's not really good.
Yeah, I threw it out there this year. I'm like, what they should do is 5K minimum start stack no matter what.
Yeah,
or like they have 7K minimum start stack no matter what the buy-in is.
They have this thing where they're like, we're going to do, what is it, 3 times every dollar? Yeah. Like, who cares? It just doesn't matter. It just make a good structured tournament that like has a lot of chips, and, it doesn't have to be hour levels. Make it 40-minute levels and make it 50 on day 2, like the EPT, and, they seem to do it right in the side events as well.
Yeah, speaking which, quick question from somebody that's never played an EPT. What is the starting stacks in an EPT event?
I don't know this year. They changed it. They actually made it a way better structure, I think. But it's 30K and hour levels. Okay. And then day 2 is 75-minute, and I think the final table is 90 minutes.
Now, we're back with the action here, but another quick question kind of on stack sizes in the WSOP. Is it feasibly possible for the WSOP to give you like a 10K starting stack and actually have the tournaments end in a timely fashion? Or what do you think their reasoning is, and can they make it work?
Yeah.
I think they could make it work. The thing is that if they give 3K chips and they have hour levels, but if they just make it, let's say 10K chips and 40-minute levels on day 1, or like the first 10 levels or whatever, that's almost, there's going to be a lot of people busting out.
Okay.
So I think that they should try experimenting with different structures.
Got it. We got a click back.
The thing is, I mean, it's all about money to them. So they want the tournament to end as fast as it can, and they know people are still going to play them. So
yeah, so maybe they could actually get it to end faster if they do it a different structure. Like, who knows? It might even be like an hour. Like, if they did some, I don't know, I guess like some sort of testing on how, like, I don't know how to do it, but I would assume that someone could figure it out and see that there's probably a better way to do it.
Guys. I don't know if you guys have been watching this action, but
we stopped paying attention once Ruthless.
I think it went check raise on the flop.
Yeah, and then I think it just went bet call.
Bet call on the turn. I mean, I guess that's a set or a bluff.
This is a $600 hand for me. I'm kind of nervous.
Oh, DJK's chip lead now? Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean, at the start of the hand, it was like less than $1 million difference. So
what the hell? What is this?
It's a set. It's a set or a complete miss of clubs. Like DJK is probably thinking of calling fairly light there, but again, why give away your edge when you clearly have an edge on a guy?
Yeah, DJK played really well and just seemed to. I think every time that he played a huge pot, I think he just had it.
Right.
And they just kept going at him, trying to say no, this the first hand that guy 3-bets DJK when he opens, and it's basically just saying this is my final table. That's probably the reason why he would 3-bet. It was crazy.
I mentioned that as well. He was not afraid to 3-bet DJK, that's for sure.
What do you make of our final 2 contenders, Adam? How do you see this heads-up battle going based on what you know of Oyarkhan and DJK?
I would not bet against DJK.
What would you lay the line at? Because I have money with Casey. And I'm just curious if I made a good bet.
What was your line?
I basically am kind of getting 3-1. Because originally at the start of the final table, we both picked a player for 200. And then at the start of the heads up, we made a deal that if DJK wins, then Mark is even, and if he loses, he owes me 600.
Yeah, but so it's 2-1 is what the odds are.
Yeah, it was 2-1, but you surrendered the first bet.
What were the stacks at the time?
DJK had like 45 bigs. He had like 5 million.
And the other guy had like 90.
When it was 10-12.
Oh yeah, it was 10-12 at the time. It was almost even.
Right where it is right now.
I'd probably say like DJK was somewhere around 60 to set. Probably maybe like. I mean, there's a lot of luck in poker, but I still think that it seems like this guy's just going to tool out in the wrong spot against DJK, and DJ is just gonna like. I mean, he's probably just going to small ball him and
yeah,
kind
we
of
talked about that earlier. There's nothing else he should do than small ball. This guy, like, I think he's like a 5-1 favorite. I mean, I literally don't. I mean, I know there's a lot. I agree, tons of luck in poker, but this deep, I just feel like DJK is going to own him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the luck. You know, yeah, obviously, I think DJK is a favorite even when he's down like 20 bigs. So I
think he's a favorite too, but I'm free rolling, so.
Yeah, I said when DJK had 4 mil, which was 40 bigs at the time, and the other guy had what 17 it was or something. I still thought DJK was a favorite at a 4-1 deficit, which is sick. I mean, I guess I'm being a little sarcastic.
It was a 4-1, but he was still deep enough. You know, it's not like he had 10 bigs at a 4-1.
Yeah, no, and if he had 20 bigs, I wouldn't have said that. But with 40 bigs, I mean, 40 is still somewhat shallow head up, though.
I'm sure DJK knows like all the heads up tricks. You know, I'm sure he's played a lot of heads up sit and goes, or you know, just tournaments that if he got short, he was just going to start limping or this or that. And I just don't see DJK allowing himself to really, unless there's like some cooler where it's just like tens versus ace king, which like can happen.
Right. I mean, I still hope DJK wins.
It doesn't happen, though. I do not want that to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Adam, how's your WCOOP been thus far?
Well, this is my 4th cash. I got a 41st and a 40th. So I mean, obviously now it's been great, but it was kind of disappointing, I guess, up until that point. But yeah, this is definitely pretty good. I was down a bunch before this tournament, so I feel pretty good.
You were deep in something else tonight, right?
Yeah, it was like the second chance to the 200 like big game tournament, the pot limit pre and no limit post tournament, and I got like, I don't know, got 14th or something. It was 5K for first, so it was kind of like pointless. The only reason I played it was because I was doing well in this tournament at the time, so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Wow.
Big raise from DJK.
Yeah, I think DJK just always has a jack there and like knows the guy's old and he's just gonna 4x like he probably could have even made it bigger and the guy might have called.
Ace 10 and 9-10. Ace 10 or 9-10 are in the range too, but yeah, it's never worse than a jack. I agree. Adam, let me ask you something. Since Black Friday, are you playing on any of the American sites, on Lock or Merge or anything like that?
I mean, I didn't really see the need to. I mean, I guess I could have if I wanted. I just never wanted to have any situation arise again, like with full tilt. So I was just avoiding it, and I'll play live. Especially when because my parents are in Florida, so when I'm in the U.S., the majority of the time is spent in Florida, so I just play that instead. And it's a live for that month and a half or whatever. But I hear Merge is actually doing I mean, it seems like a lot of people are playing Merge in the U.S. and Lock and whatever else.
Lock and Merge are distinct.
You still get smaller field.
I don't know.
What did you say there, Marco?
I said it should be noted that Lock and Merge are distinct, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay.
Lock moved to Cake and left Merge.
Lock overtook Cake.
Yes.
Well, they rebranded it, Revolution Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But that'll change your mind, won't it, Adam?
What?
Nothing.
Fuck you, Marco. That was
Nothing. Excuse me. Come on. Adam, I have a question as well. So, what are you looking forward to for the rest of this WCOOP?
Well, the 2K should be fun in Maine, and yeah, I mean the like high buying 6 max like rebuys and stuff. I'm actually just gonna look at the schedule right now. I don't know.
Okay.
I think DJK is starting to assert his dominance here.
Asserting his dominance.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking forward to like the turbo knockouts, the like super knockouts. Or is there not one? Oh, there is one. That tournament's a blast.
When will that be taking place?
I think that's on Saturday.
Okay, that's tomorrow then. Is this?
No, next Saturday.
Next Saturday, right?
Yeah.
We'll be keeping track of you, Adam. You know, we're fans, and we really enjoyed watching you make this deep run tonight.
I think it's good that you guys are doing this because there are a lot of people who are really interested in watching the WCOOP back in the States, and it's hard for them to do that. So when you have this, like, you're talking about it, and do you have it like streaming on the website or something, or?
Yes, we have it streaming on the website, and which is not impossible for Americans to do. But it is a little tougher. But we like to make it more into kind of an experience, kind of a place where everyone can get together, talk about it, learn. These final tables, I think they were originally aimed to be fun, and they are fun, but they have turned out to possess enormous educational value because we will have pros like Casey and like Marc and like the great people we've had on so far just talk about poker in a way that is really precious, just like offering really precious insight to our viewers and listeners. So
that's kind of how the ESPN, like during the series, I was always listening to the webcast, the final tables. Like there was one with like Doc Sands and Tom Marchese when it was Hellmuth and Frankenberger heads up, and it was like one of the more. It was like basically like just a. Watching one of those videos online on like Card Runners or something. It was just that informative.
Oh, you mean Tournament Poker Edge?
or yeah, sure.
I actually love when Olivier Bousquier does broadcasts because like he's an idol of mine, and when he talks about a hand, like it's just amazing. Like he goes into depth about it. Yeah, you actually learn something for free. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's true. It's cool that ESPN is like, oh well, we should actually get like some of the newer poker players who have great reputations and have them talk about things. I mean, in turn, it's making people better, but it's still cool to just hear it.
And I think it's actually good for us too because it shows how much more of a skill poker actually is than if you just have like Lon McCarron and Norm Chad. No disrespect to him, but if you have a guy analyzing a hand like flop, turn and river, nice value bet by DJK, and the guy shows every time. Let's go, Dan.
He wants DJK to know that he's getting unlucky.
Right.
Like, look at this sizing. Like, is DJK? I mean, there might be like a few hands in that entire range, like his range, like just whatever he's raising on the button that he's actually folding. Maybe there aren't. It's just
right.
You're deep and you're 3-betting to like you're 2xing what his raise is and 3-betting out of
position, hella deep.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said that earlier. His 3-bet sizing is way too small in my opinion, and Dan has flatted every single 3-bet head up. He has not folded to one 3-bet that I've seen.
Yeah. Now that they're heads up, it's even worse though.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty jealous. I really wanted to try get heads up and against this guy. DJK is unbustable. Yeah,
big bet here.
He shut the sicko!
Pure value.
Big call there with ace high. Was that a call with ace high there by Oyarkhan?
Yeah, look at it. DJ has no like
queen 3.
One at a time, please, gents.
Sorry.
DJK is never bluffing there for that amount of chips.
What the hell was that call?
It's a pretty sick bet.
Yeah, it's a very sick bet. I wouldn't have bet. I'm too nitty. The guy just reshipped 45 bigs. I don't know if anyone saw that. So he's definitely tilted.
What What do you make of that call by Oricon, though? Is there any excuse for it whatsoever? Calling
No, it's horrid.
Nothing at all? Not even some fringe conspiracy theory, UFO fucking nothing at all?
No, because if DJ K is bluffing there, he's at most bluffing for half pot.
Mm.
Well,
He's looking guns.
In my opinion, he's not betting 75-80% of the pot as a bluff there. He bet that 10 as a pure value. And he was probably going to call if the guy did something.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I feel like it, DJK.
Yeah, it seemed obvious.
The DJK is just at the point where he's just probably broken down this guy's game, that he knows that this guy would never not bet a 10 on the turn. And
or a
check
jack
calling.
on the turn.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
On a 2-diamond, 10-jack board, there's no way this guy ever has a jack. I mean, like, the river bet was still sick.
The guy's just ripping $6 million now. Like, we had it right from the one of the very first hands on the final table where he flatted you, where you 3-bet him. I immediately said, okay, this is awful.
I mean, do you see what he's reshipping right now? That was 50.
Yeah, I mean,
I said he was horrible, and he is. I mean,
the truth is that his best strategy is probably just to get it in heavy chip in and get lucky for 50 bags, because he has no chance of the way.
That's probably, you're right. That's probably what he should do, because that's what I would do against a guy like Ivy. I would just play big pot poker.
I think that's like literally what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his only option. He obviously cannot outplay DJK.
And he's tilted as shit, man. That's the third time we've seen him reship like 40 plus. I shark scoped him before the final table, and I was like, "Damn, he's up 112,000." And then I looked at his graph, and through 3,500 games, he was break even, and then he has 110K score, and now he's gonna have a big score in this.
Well, what his style is pretty much exactly that. Like, he's gonna do kind of nothing, and then he's just gonna, because what his best attribute is just 3-betting and being relentless with it. So when you're running good and people are folding to the 3-bets or not knowing how to react to it, and you're actually hitting hands, that can be kind of dangerous for anyone. I mean, that's
I agree. And his average buy-in is $28, so like his style probably crushes that. Like, his style, I agree. I mean, look at it again, just reshipping. It's smart of him, though. This is the one thing I'm actually going to give him credit on that I'm not hating. Even though I think it's way too much to reship, but like, he knows he can't beat him.
Well, do you think he actually gets that, or is it just tilt?
I think it's tilt.
Okay.
It might be a little bit of both. Like, he might actually be thinking, this guy's really good and I can't seem to beat him, so let's just try to, I mean, in some roundabout, weird way, like train of thought, I think he probably is thinking something like that.
Well, it's interesting to see this. I mean, we were talking, like, I guess as recently as maybe half an hour ago, Oyercon was just ridiculously ahead with chips, and now we all attested to the superiority of DJK, and we're seeing it come out. So
Oricon ran like God. I mean, even where he woke up with it, we were screaming spade on call for you, Adam. We wanted, when you turned the flush draw, we were just screaming. Decent flop, decent turn too when you're against aces off.
I don't know how he has aces there.
I know, I would have puked, man, all over my computer. I literally would have fucking puked everywhere.
So if you say his name in a certain way, like I didn't really know how to say it, so I'm like kind of looking at it. It kind of sounds like kind of sounds like Hadouken. You're like
Hadouken, Mortal Kombat.
Well, I think
Street Fighter,
that's Street Fighter. That's Street Fighter.
I think I took German in college for a few years, and that combination of those letters makes for an oi sound in German. So I don't know why I'm just pronouncing it in German, and it seems because it's difficult to pronounce it in English. So I just went with the easier German pronunciation.
He's Turkish, so I don't know.
He is Turkish.
Yeah.
His
and
name
there
is Oil Can?
What's that?
So his name is Oil Can?
Oil Kin?
Yeah, how do you pronounce his name in German?
I just say Oyerkan.
Oyerkan.
I
just say shitbag.
Okay. Anyway, he's getting back up there. You know,
He sure is. And I'm.
What's he doing here? What's happening with DJK? Is he slipping?
Every once in a while, mathematically, he should have the best hand. So it's going to be fluctuation. But as in general, DJK is just beating him down.
Yeah.
I'm shitting my pants because I don't want to lose $600 to Casey.
When did it go up to 600, Mark?
Well, I lost to 200, and like any DGen would do, they try to double up.
Wow. What is Oyerkan doing when he makes these? I mean, I can understand maybe pre-flop. You know, he's trying to take the edge away from DJK and shoves. But when is he doing that, like post-flop? It seems so silly or irregular.
Yeah, I'm not sure he even knows what he's doing and why he's doing it.
Mm.
Because there's not really an explanation for those 10s. It is an interesting hand.
God, I hope he check raises.
I think DJK has something like 10.
You just click the 50% button. I wonder if that's something.
Oh,
shit!
Oh.
That was the only way he would lose!
And Oyerkan takes a big lead again. Flush versus flush. Oyerkan with the ace high. How are we doing here? Mark? Mark's
can someone call Jared Tendler real quick?
It's funny because I have his book right next to me, and I'm about to light it on fire.
All right, I text him, but it's late on the East Coast. I don't know.
God, that was the only way it would happen. Was something like that.
For some reason, I'm thinking of the Price is Right, like yodeler. Like the DJK is just like you know that guy. That he's like he's like going up the mountain and then he just drops.
Mountain game? Yeah.
Yeah, he just has to go back up the mountain again.
Well, so what are we? Yeah. There you go. Very handy. That is from the Price is Right, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What are we looking at here? 30. What are we at? 30 bigs on DJK, and is my math off? Or
yeah, 30. Probably about to go up.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Well, what happens? What happens now? I mean, DJK.
I still think DJK is not a huge dog here.
Mm.
He can still beat him down. I mean,
so I can buy out
300
total.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna see how many wrong decisions you can make on this.
Oh shit!
For those asking, how much is first and second? In the absence of a deal, first place 138,000, a little over actually, and second place a little over 101,000. And what do you make of that payout structure, Mark?
Ask one of them. I don't get to play any of these events, so like, and I'm new to MTTs, so one of them.
Vsauce, who is the DJK's agent in this chat, is getting pretty tea party on Pokerstars right now.
Tea party.
Yeah, he's accusing them of being communists, commies, Marxist. Why? Why do you feel that way, Vsauce? If you put together a nicely worded manifesto, I will read it out loud on the air. So, spend some time on that. What do you guys think? Adam, you were playing this. You cashed actually. What's your opinion of the payout structure? And in fact, Adam, when you're done answering that, I was asking earlier about like why we did not see anyone propose a deal earlier into the final table. So let's get your opinion on those two if we can.
Well, I think the pay structure is good. I like it. I think that the jumps aren't too steep, and I think that Pokerstars kind of has a payout structure for these like. And this is also not like one of the 9,000 person $200 buy-ins, so it should kind of be a little steeper than those. And I think overall the payout structures are pretty good.
Mm.
As for the deals, well, DJK and Scammies, I just doubt they're ever going to want to talk deal. DJK. I mean, they're just, especially after seeing the play before the final table with the other guys. It was like 4 people that were just tough dudes with like Queso, and then it's just like everyone, like some of the other guys. I mean, I had never seen before, and then this guy. So it's like I probably didn't want to do a deal either. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just you gotta let it ride when you're playing against someone you have such an edge against.
Understood.
He just min bet the river with was it second pair? I actually liked that play out of him. That's the first time I actually liked something.
Yeah,
Oh no, it was third pair on a 3 diamond 4 card straight board.
Yeah.
I wanna tweet about this. I'm gonna say epic heads up continues. I'm gonna call Oyercon
Epic?
mysterious
Really,
luck
Marco?
box.
Epic?
Yeah.
Yes! Yes! I'm back!
All right. Did you buy out though?
No.
Oh.
But I'm listening to prices, Casey. I'll let you buy out.
Marco, I'm probably gonna head out now because
Do that, Adam.
exhausted.
You got
Congrats again, Adam.
Yeah, congrats, brother. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I know you're not happy, but dude, with what you had, you made the best of it.
I agree, and thanks for having me. And
Pleasure was all ours. And don't forget to follow Adam on Twitter at Ruthless. I thank you, Adam. The viewers thank you. And you know what? Would love to have you on again before the WCOOP is over, if you feel like jumping on again and hanging out.
well, hopefully I'll just final table something else.
Okay. We wish you will.
All right, see you guys.
Hey, brother.
Thanks so much, Adam. Good luck.
They had the same hand.
DJK was free rolling.
I know, it's sick. God, is it too nitty that I just want to cancel our bet? I can't do that. I can't do that.
Why would I cancel it? I'm free rolling.
No. We're basically where we started on the 2-to-1 bet. Yeah, alright, no, we're letting it roll. Wow.
Oops. See, I don't think DJK has it here, because when he bets much bigger. When he's trying to value this guy, he puts in a lot of chips. I could be wrong, but I would say, ooh, I bet you DJK will fold to a shove.
Wow.
I might have ripped it right in there if I was Oricon.
This is an epic head-up case, so you agree. This has been pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, it's just because it's so deep.
I mean, the funny thing is I had a hot date tonight, and I actually canceled so I could be on QuadJacks Live.
Nice.
Oh, dude,
You're
really?
an idiot.
I bet your hand's really disappointed.
Yeah, I was gonna say my right hand is really pissed off at me.
Justice!
What a stupid...
Justice
silly-
League America!
Just fucking...
I don't know if
Does
you saw
anyone know what that is? For all you comic geeks out there, Justice League America. See, I'm a nerd. I'm chess, Magic the Gathering, you name it, I played it.
You don't fit that profile, by the way, Mark.
I mean, I am a nerd at heart, it is true. But I appreciate that.
Big Dog is not a nerd.
Really? Wait. Oh, you're not a nerd? Weren't you the one that shot, like, we talked when we were talking, maybe, I hadn't seen Harry Potter, and you're like, dude, sickest series ever.
I fully admit to liking Harry Potter. I don't know if that makes me a nerd.
Sickest series ever, and I watched it, and what did I say to you? I
That
said
was
you changed
pretty
my
sick
life.
series.
I'll tell you
You
what.
changed my life.
Did you read the books, Casey?
I did not read the books,
Confirmed, not a nerd.
but there have been... I'm not a nerd if I didn't read the books?
I think so.
Fair enough. See, I know I'm not a nerd. I did read the Lord of the Rings books, though.
Me too. I didn't like them.
Kind of nerdish.
By the way, I just wanted to say, like, speaking of Marc's profile, look at this Facebook photo of ours that I just put in chat. Doesn't Marc look a little bit like Helmuth in that one? I'll let the chatters
I don't see it.
decide.
Well, you know what?
Little.
Usually they compare me to midgets. They just call me a midget.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the Helmuth there, Marco, but Don't say that to...
I do, in the eyes, in the face, in the way his mouth is curled up.
And how good I am at poker, like...
Yes.
Mark, they call you a midget because you're 4'6". Like, I don't think you're out of line.
The expression, yeah, bravo, Ryan. Or whoever said that, yeah, that was him. See, they say they kind of see it.
Alright, DJK, time to do some work.
Honestly, from a distance, Oyer Khan's avatar looks a little bit like me when I have my hair short like that. I keep looking at me like, hey, that kind of looks like me sometimes.
Nice, Marco.
Anyway.
Is that really you, sir?
It's not me.
Are you in Rome right now playing the poker? Well, actually, you couldn't be if you were in Rome. You'd be on .it.
Yeah. That's what they want to do that's what they want to do here in this, what Reed and Kyle have in mind for poker players in this country, just play against Americans. Which, by the way, I intend to write about why I think that's a very bad idea. It's the American poker community cannot possibly retain its international supremacy if it's only forced to play against itself.
Sure, it'll be profitable to play on, though.
Do you think so, though?
Fuck
I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
I don't know if I...
Hell yeah. If you look at the games right now that we're watching on PokerStars, the only Americans that are out playing right now are the pros, okay? And
I know, but in the absence of an international market to really like beef up the prominence and popularity of an American market of an American company, which is just starting out, by the way, I don't see it. It could become profitable. I don't see it becoming profitable in before like at least a couple of years, if ever. Quite frankly.
Way off topic that we're getting into right now, but I will ask you this much. And I know the answer, but you weren't around, Marco, for like party poker days. So that was party poker when it was purely an American site. And going back to those times when it was easy for people to put money online, the games were just ridiculously soft. And that was back when there was like maybe one non-American at each table. So if we can get back to that point here in the United States, I think it will be incredible for the American player. I'd like to open it up to the two actual pros here, one a Canadian, one an American. Mark, first you being the American, what do you think?
Well, first off, I'll say that party poker was a gold mine. I loved party poker, and yeah,
but it wasn't only American, was it?
It was purely driven by Americans. Yeah, I mean there were international.
Okay, well, yeah, but it wasn't. But other people played. But it had international pools.
I would say about 5% of the players were outside of the United States back in the heyday.
Well,
I think what'll happen is if poker's legalized like interstate, like just California or something, especially in California, because it's like I think 30% of online players in the States are from California. So say they do that like a California-based site, I think it'll be super soft. Because you're going to have every regular guy that feels safe depositing, and they're not going to worry about nothing. They know they can get their money off. And I think it's going to be the softest thing ever, and I cannot wait.
So would you consider moving to California just to play on an interstate California site?
Well, I'm in California. You got to ask Casey that.
Well, I mean, I think you guys are both right. That might be a bit of a cop-out, but the real answer is, I agree with the party poker thing, but it's never going to be as soft as party poker, just for the basic reasons that the learning curve is much quicker now in general, with training sites and all the information out there. So even when you get the bad players, they're still better than they were in the party poker days. So it's never going to be that soft again, but when it all comes down, you are definitely going to get a lot more softness. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
I just think that...
Also... Go ahead,
Mark. No, well, thanks.
No.
Well, no, listen, all I'm saying is that it can be profitable. I don't see it being very profitable until... I mean, not for the operators, not even for many of the players. I mean, but that's difficult for me to project. What I will say with some confidence is that I don't see the Americans kind of retaining... their international supremacy. I mean, to me, that's kind of important. It's important that you know, for the American poker culture, that American poker players are good, and something so sealed off just doesn't lend itself. Won't contribute to that.
Can I break that down? Did you just say that American poker players are good?
I'm talking about the America being where you will find the best poker players,
of course,
live and online.
Yeah, you're right, but
Now, of course, most American poker. I mean, but that's just a matter of. There's a lot of American fish, but that's a matter of size. I mean,
sure.
So I mean, I don't know. I think it's good. I mean, listen, it's. I don't want to
get it all in here,
an
guys.
argument.
4 versus Ace Queen.
Here we go.
Hold.
4!
Bam! 4! And the river's a 4!
Not that he needed a 4, did he? I mean, he was already in the lead.
But that's the thing. Positive reinforcement always roots.
Yes.
So we've
I
seen
hate
a
the
switch
guy that's
now.
sitting there. He's against a flush draw, and he's like, no diamond, no diamond, diamond hits. It's like, no, dude, why the fuck you calling the diamond? Call for your card.
Yeah, and the only person that picked that up...
I'm just big on that positive reinforcement. Root for what you want. Yes, $600 flip!
I'm surprised, Marco, you didn't pick it up. Everybody in chat's getting it that I did the lawn there, and the river's a 4, but...
Oh.
Yeah, you missed on that. But anyways...
No, wait a minute. The turn card is a 4.
I did the river. It was a 4.
All right. That's good. It's good to have
I didn't get that either. That's great.
But no, I think that... Listen, I think that any way the United States gets their act together and starts to get poker back is a good thing. I'm kind of excited to see one state say, "Yeah, we'll turn it on." Oh, we got an all-in again. Well, no, not an all-in, but a big pot. I'm interested to see a state that turns it on, and then the next state say, "You know what? I'm going to turn it on, but I'm going to regulate Pokerstars, kind of like Italy and Spain and France does." That would be interesting.
I would love that. And to answer your question, if I would move somewhere, it looks like Nevada is going to be the first state, obviously. They've actually, I'm sure you guys have talked about it, they've tried to get California in the mix, and California's saying no, like we have way too many players.
And I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you one thing, too, about Nevada. Here we go.
Here it is.
7.
Massive overshove for no reason.
Yes!
All right. Well done, DJK. And he wins this. What were you? Okay, so what? Somebody was making a point about California.
My point was that. Well, I'll say first, and then Zach can finish. I would move to Nevada if they had it, if it was legalized and up and running, and I saw good things. I would consider moving there.
And that's listen. That's what I just want to bring up quickly. I'm sure you guys have been to Nevada. I saw you both here this summer. The amount of people in this town, and I'm not just talking about the Strip. I'm talking about the people that live in Las Vegas greater area. If you go to any restaurant or bar that's open 24 hours a day, you will always find degenerates sitting and playing video poker. Imagine if they were able to sit at those degenerate, areas at those bars and play poker. I would just love to.
But
see
they couldn't do. I know that would be awesome. But the Reed, I'm talking about the Reed bill specifically. What we've learned from the summary, that would be disallowed. They explicitly say we're not going to allow that because they want to maintain. I'm paraphrasing, substantial gaming to casinos. That's the problem with that bill. It is extremely pro big gaming, not so much pro players. And it's difficult to. I know it's difficult to say. It's difficult to like. Promote no online poker bill rather than this one or any other one. I know it's tough to do that. I don't know if I'm prepared to do that, but I will say that like the passage of a bill like this would set online poker back in a way in this country as well. And when you make that a law, like look at how you can always say like, oh well, they can amend it, but look at how long it took us to like amend the fucking Illegal Gambling Business Act of 1970 so that it wouldn't apply to motherfucking poker. 42 years.
Now, Marco,
okay?
I want to continue this conversation. I just want to wrap up this tournament coverage. So we have DJK123 taking it down for 138,000 and change, and I think Marc's favorite player.
Yes, I'm happy to be even on the night with some degeneracy with Casey. And Dan Kelly's a great player, so
yeah, really good
for him.
Yeah,
he deserved it.
I just wanted to wrap it up for everybody that was wondering who made what, but yeah, that was very well done tonight, guys. Thank you so much. But no, Marco, I think the Reed-Kyle bill, is that not federal?
Yes.
I don't know. I just think that we're going to see state happen a lot sooner than federal. I mean, what in your
at this point, yes, because those guys suck.
Who, the feds?
Well, no, Reed and the Reed bill. I mean, we might be overthinking it because it doesn't look like they're going to get the necessary support. So, fortunately, and I hate to say it, but fortunately, this bill won't pass as it is. And that's the thing too, like, I don't know, of course federal would be awesome, and the states getting too far ahead might make it difficult later. But you look at something like New Jersey, a state like New Jersey, which is saying, yes, we will definitely allow international player pools. That is so much more progressive, and I think that's the kind of model you want to encourage. Hopefully there's a way where you can. Hopefully, you know, I don't know how this is going to get done. I don't know if it's a good thing to encourage states to go forward, and then the federal government will like adopt the best model from one of them. I don't know. I don't know if it's even maybe we do need to get this bill. Maybe this bill is better than nothing. Not yet sure. But I was extremely disappointed by what we learned about that bill in the summary. I was expecting much better, and I didn't get it.
I know what we do need, Marco. Just based on this last few minutes of talk with you on this subject, I guarantee you we need a gaming world back. You need to talk about this with someone. Because I'm pretty sure,
absolutely.
And I just want to quickly ask Casey, being from Ontario, I'm sure that it's in the back of your mind that legislation is coming in Ontario. And have you heard anything about what's going to happen with OLG and Ontario gaming?
I actually have not paid attention or heard anything whatsoever. I kind of don't care. Whatever happens, I'll just roll with it.
Okay.
Poker hasn't been a focal point of mine for the last 5 or 6 months. I've just been, you know, chilling and relaxing. So I haven't really put any thought into it. So I really don't have an opinion whatsoever.
Wait, are they about to do what France did?
Well,
and like Italy, are they about to make it?
You've seen. I mean, I hate to bore you guys, but if you're interested, so two of the provinces.
I'm really interested.
Two of the provinces in Ontario or in Canada, on Quebec and British Columbia, have merged together on a skin, and they play under a certain network, but they're together on the same thing. And those, you know, those are Quebec's a huge province, but Ontario is the big one. That's the biggest province.
But can they still play on other? Like, can they still play on Pokerstars?
Well, here's some of the rumors I've been hearing lately, and this is just speculation, obviously. But you would think that Ontario would adapt to the same things as these other provinces, but it's been rumored that Ontario might get into the business of regulating. So not building up their own stuff, but doing like the .ITs and the .FRs. You know, allowing third-party operators to come into the province and go from there. So that's an interesting new sort of look at what's going to happen in Ontario, or is definitely on the table.
To me, it just means higher ROI, smaller paydays, but less variance. Because the fields will be softer and smaller.
Right.
If you won't have those $150,000 hits, you know, that I've had, you know, in my career, but I think I'll be able to make a steadier stream of income.
Yeah, you're kind of.
I'll adapt and roll to anything because I'm not relocating at this point in my life, no matter what happens, and there'll always be some sort of gambling out there for me to partake in.
Don't you want Americans back? Because my stance on it is I want to be playing with Europeans. All Americans. I want it to be like it used to be. I mean, I don't think it will be.
Yeah, in my perfect world, the United States would get regulated, come back into the poker world. There would be an influx of good players, but also a huge influx of really bad players, and yeah, that'd be my perfect world. But my life isn't dependent on what happens and what doesn't happen, so I'm kind of just of the stance that I'm going to roll with it no matter what.
Yeah, I think that you're a good enough player, Casey, where you can adjust to pretty much anything they throw at you at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I've been pretty successful, so I'll just figure out a way to make it work for me somehow.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too long. We've been doing this for quite some time. Marco, good job getting together the team of Casey and Marc. This has been a lot of fun, and I don't think I've heard one of our commentators scream American Justice League so many times.
It's Justice League America, goddammit.
Sorry, Marc. Sorry.
That's a good theme, by the way, for the discussion of American Online Poker. We could use an American Justice League. We should
just dub in Marc screaming it.
Oh God! Just dub out the fact that I'm a degenerate sports gambler and all that stuff.
Yeah, let's actually create a show around. You know, American Online Poker, the American Online Poker cause, and let's call it a, Justice Poker League, and let's have fucking Marc host it. You know?
I agree, Marco. This
Justice
is good.
Poker League or something.
But it's fucking late. I don't want to keep these guys. I know, Marc, you're Cali, but Casey, you're West Coast or you're East Coast, right? So.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take off here. I appreciate you guys having me on. It was fun. It was a good time.
Do it again.
But, it's definitely time to go.
All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna play you guys both out. I want to say thank you very much to our commentators tonight, Casey Jarzabek, excuse me, Big Dog Pocket Fives, whom you should follow on Twitter. Look at chat. I've entered his Twitter name. It's a bit, you know, an excess of consonants there, so you may want to be careful. And also follow his trusty sidekick, Marc Alioto. Is that safe to say?
Yes, man. Casey's taking me under his wing, so yeah,
Okay.
I can dig that.
All right, and don't forget, you can find both of them on Tournament Poker Edge. I want to say that's the actual URL. Yes, tournamentpokeredge.com. That is also something that you can access via our chat box. So thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it, and really hoping we can do this again quite soon. You're always welcome to join us.
We're always good. Yeah, thank you guys so much, man. It's good for us too. It's a blast as usual.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, guys.
You've done a great job. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
You guys
Bye-bye.
take care.
There we go, Marco. Another night in the books.
Another one in the motherfucking books, yes.